water. Let me just grab some.
Alright, well, we're just gonna start without you. It's fine. We didn't need you anyway. Alright, let's see.
Yokel gamers?
Yokel gamer.
What does that mean?
You remember they said yokel the entire time last time. And yokel does mean like country bumpkin.
Ah.
Anyway, I should probably do my intro. Hey guys, we're live. Welcome back to another stream of Ace Attorney. I'm back after a long weekend of no streaming because I went to Anime Expo over the weekends. That was fun. I also went and watched Mogul Money live, which is, for you, those of you who don't know, is Ludwig's YouTube show, which is the Jeopardy ripoff.
Mogul Money.
Mogul
Did Soda
Money.
play in it?
Yeah, actually he did.
Did you watch Soda?
No, but I got a photo with Soda Pop.
I know, I was so confused. I was like, Thomas doesn't even watch
I don't watch
Soda.
him, but I was like, oh, Matt and Critch will love this.
I know, I was sitting there, I was like, I don't even think he watches Soda Pop. And then Critch was like, he watches Soda Pop. And I was like, I don't think he does.
I don't watch Soda Pop. Yeah, but I got a photo with quite a few streamers. I got a photo with Miskiff. I got a photo with Trash Taste Cast. Cutie Cinderella with Ludwig himself.
Heck
That's
yeah.
just because I was VIP. All the VIPs got a photo with Ludwig.
There you go.
And then I saw so I went and watched the show, and then I was in the VIP, so I was like the middle front of the stage. But at the right of us was basically all the guests he invited, and it was stacked. There was so many streamers I saw there. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Like who? Asmon Gold?
He wasn't there. Not that I could tell anyway. But there was a lot of people there. A lot of people I didn't recognize for sure.
Tyler won.
No, he's in.
The Doc.
You know, I can't say any.
Ninja.
I don't recognize any
Ninja.
people. No, I didn't see Ninja. I'm not just looking over there the entire time. I'm trying to watch a show.
I would.
That's fair. But I mean, like the cast themselves was stacked. The people that went up there. But then they called during the show. They called up people from the audience, like the streamers from the audience. Like Hassan went up.
Oh, okay.
Valkyrie, other people. I don't remember. Myth. I think those are the three that went up. Yeah.
Oh, Myth.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool, basically.
Basically. Anna's here now.
Yep, we are ready to start. Anyway, let's head into
Main
it.
character.
I can talk more about my weekend with chance.
I'm so sorry, Susato. I should have told you about the toxin. Ray.
Ray.
You don't remember the toxin? The whole point of the thing?
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, it's been a while.
You have a strong sense of responsibility. I know. That's why you decided to shoulder the burden alone. It's always been a week. We never really do it more than a week at a time.
Yeah, we went a couple months there. No, that's not it at all.
I'm saying we never do it more frequently than a week at a time.
Can you pop out chat?
I can.
Make it big.
Ooh, I mean, what's the point of that?
Oh. I guess don't do it.
I
was scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. So I hope to retrieve the substance from the Englishwoman before anyone found out. Yeah, why don't you word that weirder? I hoped to retrieve the substance.
The substance,
You
know?
mean the toxin?
The substance.
I tried to get the toxin out of her body. Why don't you say normal?
Need to secrete the substance out of her body, you know?
I'm trying to
I can't even tell.
fix it. There you go.
Oh, okay.
It was like,
Oh, you cut
You're right.
Thomas out.
Yep. I'm out of the frame now. Not in
Oh, I'm
accordance.
so sorry, guys. It's all crooked.
And now it's scuffed.
Scuffed stream. Started over.
Alright.
This is such a yokel stream.
You didn't even remember that word.
I didn't.
Alright. Read this.
Before the... Yeah.
Before the... Oh, yeah.
That you had no doubt in your mind about my innocence? That you'd stand by me to the last?
I remember.
And yet I didn't deserve your trust in me. I hid important details from you, Susato. I completely betrayed your faith in me. Hit me, Susato! I deserve it! No, in fact, throw me to the floor!
Oh, that's what
the
she's
Susato
into.
takedown!
Oh my...
No, that's too good for me as well. She's into
She's
degradation,
really
bro.
into it.
Drag me through the city streets.
She's
bro,
hardcore.
BDSM, bro. I'm no... Oh,
Alright, let's go! Just kidding.
Susato's also...
I'm no better, you know.
Oh!
when you're both the submissive.
Even though.
When you're both masochists.
You don't. Not
Oh
neither.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Neither of you wants to be the dominant.
Even though in my heart, I knew that you'd pulled the knife blade from Miss Brett's back.
Oh, what kind of kinky play is knife blade from the back?
Whoa, whoa,
There was just a brief moment when in my mind I doubted you.
Susato, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. After
Oh.
I stood here and promised you that I'd stand by you and always be on your side, I betrayed your faith in me too. And as such, I failed you as a lawyer.
Oh no, no. What the heck is going on?
Wait, I forget what happened. Like, what was what do we where did we leave off with the trial?
Basically, we
taking a
discovered
recess.
that she was stabbed, poisoned, and there was poison in the blade. That's it.
Yeah.
And they were we were
taking a
calling
recess, it's
in
not over.
the photographer.
Oh yeah,
We're
yeah.
calling in the
that's
photographer, and they're taking a
Because we
recess to
discovered
call
the
him.
cracked photos
Gotcha.
on both of them.
Which we actually missed, and we completely guessed.
Yep.
We guessed incorrectly and got it right.
Hey, well, we made it still, so didn't have to save scone. I think this situation has taught both of you a valuable lesson. Placing your unbridled faith in another is no easy task.
Yes, Father, that fact has certainly struck.
Is this mic picking up
Which
right?
is why, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Hello.
Did the goals for yellow, right?
Yeah.
Yo, turn it up a bit.
I mean, it's because,
Turn it up a bit.
I mean,
Boom, baby.
yeah, alright.
We can turn the audio up a little bit.
Oh, you want it up a bit?
No, for us only.
Yeah, I know.
Just for a teensy tiny bit.
Is it too loud for you, or?
No, I thought
Maybe
it'd
it's
be.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's good.
low.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's good.
it didn't raise it over there.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it does. Because I'm pretty sure I had that adjusted earlier. Anyway.
Okay.
Which is why I can see more clearly now. So, Ray,
Yes.
can you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Oh, Susato! You know you'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer in my eyes now. Oh, Ray. Oh, Susato!
Oh, Ray. Oh,
What was the people from the first thing? Oh, Tom! Oh, Pat!
Oh,
What was it?
Pat.
What was the other dude's name?
I don't
Oh,
remember.
Perry! Oh, Pat! Just have Thomas's girl voice stuck in my head.
I was so scared, you know, when it happened. I didn't know what was going on. The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut listening to what I was saying.
Oh, Rory! Rory, right?
No, I think so.
Oh,
I
Pat.
know,
it
Rolly.
was you who stole
Rolly.
the poison.
It was
Oh,
Rolly.
Rolly.
Oh, Rolly!
Oh wait, that was
Oh,
other
Pat!
person.
Well, now,
Alright.
whatever you do.
No, wait, so this is... Oh, well, now, whatever do you mean?
Oh, are you playing the...
Giselle, Brett, I mean, I did the first
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Okay, this is you.
And then a moment later.
I mean, it's sure.
No, it's the Ray.
She suddenly got her.
It's Ray.
I'm the narrator right now. There's no
She's
name.
narrating.
Before collapsing on the floor
Stop.
in front of me. Oh, it is.
It's Ray.
collapsing on the floor in front of me with a knife in her back.
It all happened right before my eyes.
And you were the only people in the hut at the time?
That's right. Just Miss Brett and myself. And the murderer. There was no one else. So I just don't understand how she could possibly have been stabbed like
I
that.
mean, hey, the murder wasn't in the hut.
We already have solved this. It's
I
so
mean,
annoying.
Yeah, but we have to make it through the 50
I
things of
know.
dialogue. before-
Well, I don't know. It's usually never the obvious murderer. And the obvious
I
murderer
know,
in this
but-
case might be the photographer.
No, I'm just saying, I guess we
It's the
haven't solved
photographer.
who it was.
It's
But we
kind of
know
too
it's,
obvious.
it
I
was
don't know.
from inside
I'll
the-
place a bet on it.
Actually, it is the first case. I don't know. We'll see. A great mystery indeed.
You want water?
No, I'm good.
I still can't believe it happened.
That's why I just couldn't bring myself to speak up. I'm just being nice.
I know.
Now you're laughing at me.
It's just like, we're halfway through the thing. We have
I'm sitting here guzzling
Oh,
water. I'm
do
like,
you
it's
want water?
hot. So I'm like, oh, Thomas over
It's
here.
too late. You should have done it, offered it before the stream. Just kidding.
It will be alright. However it happened, and whatever really went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything you've said and you saw is true.
Whoa!
Spoken like a true Mikotoba. Now, I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. We must make sure we have our facts in order.
Yes, I expect the poison is going to come under close scrutiny in the upcoming. The police should hopefully have identified it on the blade by now.
You know, I'm gonna stick by my guns. I'm gonna say it was the photographer.
It wasn't?
Yep, I'm gonna stick by my guns.
Trouble is, it's a completely new laboratory synthesized blend of alkaloids. The police won't have any way of testing for it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we already knew that.
Yes, without this chemical reagent.
Regent.
No, I think it's
Oh,
reagent.
reagent?
It's impossible to detect the toxin.
Chemical...
Regent?
Regent?
Pregert? Pregananant?
I sent a colleague of mine off with some earlier to deliver to police headquarters. I think perhaps you should have some as well, though, just in case. Why not?
Chemical reagent.
Ooh, correct.
Who are those people up there? Background.
Probably previous judges?
From Ace Attorney?
No. just-
The old guy.
There's only, like, 2 judges in Ace Attorney. Well, 4 now with this game.
Ooh!
Racism Simulator, the content. Alright. What's the matter, Susato? You're suddenly very quiet.
It's this newspaper article. Exclusive deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. I'm wondering how the information got out, given that it was a government secret.
It was all the Englishwoman's doing.
What?
Okay, never mind. Actually, now that I think about it, in the story
What?
case, there's almost never a twist. I think it was the cameraman.
Oh, he went back on it.
It was when the professor and Soseki-san were being interviewed at the laboratory.
I was going back through, like, previous tutorial cases, and I thought about it for a second. I was like, I actually
Never
think it's
have a
always
twist.
the obvious person at first.
That so-called English lady swanned in and without any compunction said to Professor Mikotoba,
Oh, Professor, surely your guest would love to hear about your work on that substance there. It put me in a very awkward position, to be frank. No, you can leave it there.
Oh.
I think I'm
You
loud
want to
enough.
talk loud enough?
But Soseki-san's curiosity had been piqued, so I had little choice but to give him a cursory introduction.
So then, Soseki-san knew about the
He
poison.
was the murderer!
What? What?
Yes, and it's highly likely that the reporter who was writing up the story about us would have caught a glimpse of the toxin too.
This Menimemo-san. By the way, did that reporter join you all when you went to the beach?
"Oh, no, I don't remember the reporter being there."
Indeed, he shouldn't have been. I very much doubt anyone would have wanted him there.
Oh?
A known criminal had been given permission by the authorities to bathe by the seaside. Soseki-san pointed out that inviting a reporter might be problematic, so the man was sent back to his office.
Yet he obviously didn't go back. He secretly followed the party to the beach and took this very candid photograph. And then, presumably, he posted it anonymously to the police.
Ah!
Yes, that must be what happened. That means that wasn't what happened.
Counsel! We've just heard that the new witness is now ready to testify. The trial is about to resume. Please proceed into the courtroom at once.
It's time to steal ourselves once again, then. I wasn't sure if that was me or someone else. Defense attorney Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Yes! Yes! Oh, I was looking at this thing for a second. Bray has put her faith in me now and told me everything, so I can't let her down. I have to prove that what she's telling the court is true. I have to prove what really happened that day.
Alright.
Riveting.
Is it just me, or does Chisato feel like a different character?
She feels like the main
Totally.
character.
No, but she just feels like a totally different character now.
I mean, yeah.
There's no Susato takedowns. And she's more trusting.
I guess. I hereby call this court to order, as we reconvene to continue the trial of Rei Membami. Prosecutor Auchi, have you summoned the new witness?
Before I address that question, Your Excellency, I have some very important news to share.
Oh?
What news? And why does he look so happy about it?
During the recess with the collaboration of Professor Mikotoba's laboratory at Yume University, the police re-examined the knife that was used to end Miss Jezile Brett's life.
Excellent. I admire your rapid handling of the matter.
Oh, too kind, Your Excellency, too kind. I was merely carrying out your instructions, of course.
I had the reagents delivered to the police headquarters by rickshaw, so it would be there in good time. Judging by the man's swagger, I fear we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable.
And, Council, what were the results?
Negative. You do not have COVID. This dagger, which was so cruelly used to end the life of the victim, has no trace of poison anywhere along its blade.
What? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Ace Attorney's lame. Where's the Fortnite?
Oh!
Alright.
Oh!
Alright, I guess we'll quit Ace
And
Attorney and
right
start
now.
playing Fortnite.
I'm so down.
Three-person Fortnite. I'll be in charge of the building, you know?
That would be funny. I'm blindfolded, and you just tell me when to shoot.
Oh my gosh, that would be terrible.
Alright.
Honestly, just shooting with someone else moving would be hard enough.
Yep.
I would stake the reputation of the police on it.
Armed with the reagents, the test is extremely simple. They couldn't have made a mistake.
The murder weapon was something, 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 something.
It was added to the court record.
In short, the accused Feeble's excuse earlier has been utterly destroyed.
Much like Thomas's family.
Do each one of you represent one side of the argument? No, we just take different characters. Less to do with the side of the argument or anything like that. It's just based on who's on the screen.
Now the prosecution is ready to call the new witness.
Ah, the newspaper reporter who managed to capture a photograph of the crucial moment. Good. Psychic blast indeed. Slammed against the wall. Very well, officer, bring in the witness.
No trace of poison on the knife, but if that's really the case...
Where could it be? Maybe the pen?
Wait, didn't we literally just discuss how they needed this special thing to like the reagent
And
to
they
test
used it.
Yeah, they got
They
it to
did
them.
use it.
Yeah, they got it to
Gotcha.
them.
How could the toxin have entered the victim's body?
Chico
By the pen?
It's Gohan.
Careful. Careful. Careful, that never ends well.
True, you're right. It's
Who is Mike Roch? What?
It's another D's nuts joke.
G-Gohan? What's G-Gohan?
Oh, do you see the photographers here?
Yep.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
Who's taking this?
Who are you? You're
What's
only
your
the
name?
judge,
Oh,
right?
they'll show you
Judge,
this.
the guy next
What
to
people like to
Sato,
call a Torno.
and that's
She's
it.
done it many
But
moments.
alright.
He literally, hold on. That literally was Lupin.
No, it's not.
Literally, look at his face.
I am looking at his face right now. It is not.
That looks like Lupin.
Oh,
What's a
Giorno,
giorno?
father?
Giovanni
Do
Giorno.
you know?
It's simply a contraction of journalist.
That
I'm
looks
there
like
when
he
the
has
news breaks,
sideburns
putting
that go
pen
all
to
the way
paper
down.
to
Okay,
catch
but
those
it does
scoops so
not
they're in
look
print the
like
next
it.
morning.
I mean, the sideburn.
Okay, he has sideburns. That's it.
I'll pull up a photo.
They don't call me the hero of
Here,
the
I'll
Herald
pull it.
for
I'll
nothing.
pull it up. I'll
A nice
pull it
guy
up.
of news.
I'm pulling up a photo.
I'll pull it up so
Oh
everyone
my
can see.
god.
Lupin the Third.
Hey, they won't say you're not streaming to the.
I know. I
Wait,
know.
you gotta change it so that it looks like his face on
Yeah,
it.
sure. We'll just wait until he looks forward. Did you read this?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Oh, so, it was you who took the photograph, was it?
Alright.
Well, 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 what have we here?
Let's see.
Never pull it above. Oh, man.
Oops. Click on the wrong thing.
Just click on it down there.
Alright, let's take a look at some photos.
Wait, you're covering his face now. It needs to be side by side.
Gosh, so needy.
Wait,
Not really.
when
So
have I
needy.
seen this guy?
Boom. Okay, now go back. Now a photo of him with a hat on.
With a hat
Look
on?
at this. Look at this photo. What? What? Look at the sideburns.
He just
Same
has
color
sideburns.
eyeballs.
Same color eyeball.
Dude,
Their
put a hat
face-
on that guy, and it's the same guy.
I don't think it looks... I think he has sideburns. And their face shape is similar. I'll give you that much.
There you go.
But that's about it.
Okay, so their eye color is the same. Their face shape is the same. They both have the sideburns. He's just wearing a hat, and you're like, oh, he's different.
No, different.
What makes him different?
Eyebrows are different.
Okay,
his
thicker
hair is
eyebrows.
different.
What have we had
Thicker eyebrows
here?
and grown out hair. That's it.
Yeah, and the sideburns are different down here. His eyes look totally different, but that's because
No,
different art style.
All right, let's just keep going. I'm
Retard,
sorry?
man.
Oh, brace yourselves, people. Many Memo senses a scoop in the offing.
Wait, is Ace Attorney the game with that one clown chick who goes...
Yes. That is actually...
Where is that from? Is that from this game?
That is from number 5, no.
Oh.
That is actually a scene and actually a thing that the girl does.
Oh my gosh. Does it
Female
really
student up
pop?
to foul play defended by curious and
Did it
handsome
pop?
young
Yeah,
lawyer in
they're
Supreme Court.
balloons.
The readers will lap this up. We'll set it above the fold at 72 point in a 5-leg format for the morning edition.
You're gonna be reading a
Oh, yeah.
lot between these two characters.
I know, that's why I said it might have would have been
Does someone else want to do it then?
Because you're the characters and you're the judge and
I
the
can do
dad
it,
don't talk
I
that
can do
much.
it. Alright then, let's start with your name.
Oh, it's good that you changed that because my throat was already starting to hurt from doing that voice. Oh, it's Ryotaro Naruhodo. I can never say that
Next,
name.
what made you want to become a lawyer?
Why is he interviewing us?
Well,
'Cause he's controlling the pace
I
of the
wanted to
court.
reform our country's legal system, I suppose.
Ryutaro has suddenly become very ambitious, I see.
I just borrowed Kazuma-sama's dream for a while.
By the way, my name is Taketsuchi Auchi. That's Taketsuchi Auchi.
Uchi.
Auchi. Fauci.
Uchi.
The so-called dark horse of the Supreme Court, my objections strike fear into every defense lawyer's heart.
No, the readers won't buy that.
Mom?
Witness. Yes. What this court demands to know is whether or not you were responsible for the taking of this picture. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday. Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be a journo if I didn't click quick when presented with a scoop like that now, would I? Sometimes stories call out to me, sometimes I have to chase them down, but either way, you've got to be fast. Fast legs to run with, and fast hands to write with. It's no good if you don't note it down, I always say. That's what I call my many-memoism.
Whoa.
Many memoism.
Ah, yes, I remember your face.
Of course, when we
We
make
met
Thomas take
that
over,
day.
he starts talking with all 3 characters.
We met that day when you were interviewing myself and Soseki-san. Yes, that right. That was me, Many Memo again. But you were supposed to be going back to the Shoyu news office after our meeting. But the scoop is I didn't, because that Englishwoman's words had piqued my journalistic interest.
Miss Brett's words?
A criminal left to do as she pleases just because she happens to be a British citizen? It's horse dung! This country's judiciary is rotten to the core. The Supreme Court's rulings
His
aren't
eyebrows.
worth the paper they're
It's like
written
what your
on.
eyebrows do.
Oh my.
When you're
Police
in-
are just
like, literally,
imperial pawns.
The whole like,
Don't do that with my eyebrow.
yeah you do. When you're really excited, you're like,
Oh my.
You
When I'm
find
really
something?
excited.
yeah.
Stay your tongue, young man. There are complex political issues at play.
Well, anyway, I quickly jotted down those words she said in my mini memo pad. Oh gosh, this is gonna be a tongue twister, isn't it? Are you ready? I'll read it out. It's all here, right? Here goes. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. A serious criminal going on some
How many
junkets?
pencils does he have?
The people need to know about
Let's
this.
get Thomas some pencils to break.
Alright, I got you. That's why I decided to sneak after them. To get the woman's story so I can hammer her in the press.
That's why he lick a pencil. Like, it's not like it's a pen.
Do you mean to say that you
I
did
know.
indeed witness it firsthand? Maybe it is a pen, secretly. Wooden pen. The grim scene portrayed in this photograph. Oh yes, I saw with my very own journal eyes, from start to finish, through the viewfinder of my trusty camera. Thank you. Many memo-san. I give up. Mimi-san. You will now give a formal testimony for the court. You will state exactly what it is that you witnessed of the events surrounding Miss Brett's death.
I'm just not gonna talk.
Yep. The beach hut was made of shoddy old reed screens, so there were plenty of gaps I could see through
Inside through.
I totally just missed that.
See
There were
inside
plenty of
through.
gaps I could see inside through. The Englishwoman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the Englishwoman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back.
Yeah, he's definitely the dude that killed her.
My smoldering journal spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera, ready to click. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through for the perfect shot. You know, we need to have a little, the word I'm looking for.
Read screens, you say? Little what?
We need to have a little, what is the word I'm looking for? We need to have a little opposition. I'm gonna say that he did it, honestly. You guys can vote for the other side. I'm gonna say he did it. He didn't do it. I'm gonna say he didn't do it.
I think he did.
Of course he did.
He's literally the
course
guy
he
that
did.
kills and then reports.
Yeah, he's like that. He's the Jake Gyllenhaal.
The self-reporter in Among Us.
Literally reporting.
Right, you can see them clearly enough in that great shot I snapped. The hut walls were just screens made of coarsely woven reeds. Yes, it allows the breeze to pass through and bring some relief from the summer heat. And it was a breeze for me to poke my camera through and see the whole thing hotting up.
Ignoring for the time being the appalling invasion of privacy involved, you witness everything that happened from the moment the defendant entered the hut?
Oh yes, I saw the whole thing from start to finish.
And you say that you took the photograph through a gap in one of the screens?
Luckily for me, they were pretty shoddily woven. I pulled the reeds apart and thrust the lens of my camera through the gap.
Thrust the
Would I get
knife.
away with it, or would I be seen? It was a gamble of a lifetime.
A tenacity of purpose that's considered admirable in a journalist, I suppose.
Run a risk one day, run a scoop the next. That's the mini-memoism in a nutshell. At last, it would appear we have a genuine witness to this wicked crime. The evidence and testimony are extremely compelling. I believe we may be close to a verdict.
No.
Wonderful news, Your Excellency, wonderful.
Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that this testimony begs one very large question.
What question?
Exclusive news, a startlingly photograph, all the makings of an exceptional story for the reporter. Why then was the story never published?
Oh, that's right. He doesn't say anything. Ugh.
It
Oh,
seems
crap.
clear to me that there are circumstances at play here that are yet to be understood.
Ha! More pathetic excuses.
Very well then, counsel. Proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Excellency. More to this reporter than meets the eye.
Nah, he's a good guy, for sure.
Yo,
He's
he's
keeping
shredded.
something about this case very close to him. Yes.
Really?
Alrighty then.
Perhaps I could see inside through. Are we just pressing him and everything?
I tried to press only what's necessary so we can save on some time, because this is a very long game with lots of reading.
Go over. More.
This one, do this one.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Hold it! Do you swear before this court that you actually saw the precise moment when the stabbing took place?
Ha! The precise moment! I didn't just see that! I saw the whole hellish scene play out, from start to finish!
So
I
he,
have here
he
a
never
simple
denied.
plan of the beach hut.
Or, I mean, yeah, he never denied not doing it himself. He just said, I saw everything play out.
Okay, well, he's not just gonna say he didn't.
Well, I
Either
know.
way.
Perhaps you could use it to explain to the court exactly what you witnessed.
And he's saying he saw the moment the knife went in.
That's true.
Because that's what he's insinuating, that he didn't do it at that point. Right, you are. It's all here in my mini memo pad. I
The
think it's
mini memoism is-
Many memo, not mini.
The many memos. That's the joke.
Many memos.
Many memo.
I guess. Not as good as Remember Me.
Wait, what?
Remember me.
Many memos?
Ray Membami. Yeah, many memos. Like a lot.
Yeah.
When I first peered into the hut, I'm sure that the English woman was on the stool at the back of the hut here.
Yes, the accused's own testimony confirmed that.
You just sat at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly, is what I have noted down.
It's suicide. It's my turn to testify now. Try not to interrupt.
What the?
Ugh.
Then, the next moment, as I was watching, the evil student's girl entered the hut.
Oh my.
After a while, the pair of them ended up in the middle of the hut, arguing furiously. The Englishwoman went for the student, but the girl dodged out of the way. And in a flash, plunged the knife into her adversary's back as the two passed each other. What you describe is a grim crime indeed. Never sugarcoat the truth. That's what the many memoism says.
VTET plan.
Has been added to the court record.
Oh. By the way, Many Memo-san, whilst you were watching that terrible scene unfold before your eyes through the gap in the screen, did it not occur to you to try to prevent the tragedy rather than capture it on film?
Journos have to be observers. We can't get involved. That's our raison d'etre. Raison d'etre?
Raison d'etre.
Raison d'etre.
Raison d'être.
Something reason to be? I think what it means. Maybe.
I
So
heard
you
it, but I
didn't
don't remember.
So you didn't converse with this Brett at all?
Obviously not. An observer always remains on the outside looking in.
And that's something to be proud of, is it?
Your Excellency, if I may. Yes, Professor. I think the witness's last expertly phrased statement should perhaps be added to his formal testimony.
Father, what are you...
I will grant the defense's request. Many memos, son. You will supplement your formal testimony with the aforementioned statements. Well, nihilism is the foundation of many memoism,
What the
but
heck?
I'll gladly prove that my words aren't meaningless.
What the heck? Boy, that came out of nowhere.
Okay, so this is clearly it. I'm gonna... Do we even have anything?
I don't know. Just press it. See what happens.
Really, you didn't set foot inside the hut at all. Are you quite sure about that?
I think you may have the wrong impression of me. We're talking about a murder scene right here. We're talking about a murder scene here, and something happened. My nerves were stretched to breaking points already.
Oh, I see. You were scared? Maybe I did have the wrong impression of you, yes.
It was all I could do to stifle a scream and hold my hand steady enough to snap the shot. You really should have summoned help before thinking of your camera. Many memoism and humanism don't always agree,
Oh my.
and most of the time, in those instances, many memoism comes out on top.
Nice. This dude's literally like, I don't have morals and I don't care.
Yeah, he's positivistic, or psychotic. As a sculptor of
Nihilistic.
stories, sometimes I have to be cruel for my art. Yes, that's spot on. And hey, if he is a nihilist, it's true, none of it matters.
Surely he's making all this up.
He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. If true, his testimony is devastating.
But it does seem as though he's holding something back, doesn't it?
If that's how you feel, I suggest that you trust your instincts and press him on everything he said, as you've no doubt seen done many times before in your role as judicial assistant.
Yes, I have. I've seen witnesses like this pressed often. I know exactly what to do.
I guess I can
Really, though?
press more, but I feel like it's definitely the statement we just added.
Wait, just press the
I would
statement we
do
just
this.
added.
He pulled apart the screen. And then also she was in the...
Do that one, yeah. Roughly.
But the two women inside didn't notice?
Ha! Obviously not. If they had, where would I be right now? In jail, that's where.
Which you'd think would make you reflect on what you were doing.
No, a journo's job is to collect little snippets of life as unobtrusively as possible. Leave nothing but footprints. Take nothing but photos. Yes, that's spot on.
Footprints. You just make that up?
Actually, it might be the footprints.
Yeah.
The point is, the witness risked his life and limb to obtain this photograph. And this photograph reveals the whole truth. There's nothing more to be said.
Maybe
Alright.
let's look at the photograph.
No, I
again.
think we can present the photograph with the footprints.
With the
Is there footprints?
Because look, there's like, I mean, there are some footprints, but it's not like she never came around this way.
Well,
There's the
according to this
footprints that way.
testimony, she did.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's also these footprints off to the left. I'd say we try presenting it. What's the worst that could happen, you know?
Lose a life? Are we still at 1 life?
Oh, no,
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 we
we're
have
back
a lot.
to 5. We
Oh, present it. Yeah, send it.
we got it. Ooh, this is wrong. Ooh, is that so, Counsel? Then perhaps you would care to explain to the court precisely how. Okay.
How? Well, definitively?
The contradiction lies in your apparent eagerness to present an empty argument, I feel.
Perhaps I need to reconsider.
Alright.
Not that.
Great!
What else can we present?
Wait, go. Go to his other, like, things that he said. Next, my journal script. Next. Next. Cool. Yeah, it's like- maybe.
Oops.
What'd you do?
I went too far.
Oh.
Using the scroll wheel?
Alright, let's just press, I guess. See what we can get.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
What made you want to see what was happening inside the beach hut in the first place?
Call it Journo Instinct. Can you think of a better reason?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps because as well as being a proven criminal, the person inside was a young woman.
Ah, I see where you're going with this. Brace yourselves, people. He's painting the journo as a voyeur.
What's a voyeur?
Someone who
Pervert?
peeps, basically, yeah.
It's hardly slander, sir. You had a camera and you were taking pictures without the woman's knowledge.
Nope, you got it all wrong, little student boy.
Sorry?
To my mind, all that was inside the hut was a scoop. Nothing more, nothing less. That makes it okay. Scoops, no, gender. This guy's, he's just progressive.
Yeah, he's super progressive.
Scoops, no gender. Man or woman, it's all news. That's not even many memoism, it's basic journalism.
Oh, and the courtroom wasn't indiscriminate. Was as indiscriminate.
Right, so if that's all buttoned up, can we move on? Tell the court then, witness, what sight befell your eyes when you looked inside the hut? A sight that vindicated my journo instinct, that's what. When I pulled back the reeds, I could see it all clear as day.
Hold it!
So you actually saw Membani-san entering the hut?
Yep, and she was raging like my journo spirit.
And the argument you mentioned, what was that about exactly?
You stole it, I didn't steal it, that kind of thing.
Talking about the poison, I suppose.
The student girl walked right up to the Englishwoman and really started laying into her. I mean, if she laid into her anymore, there would have been eggs.
What?
The man should have been an author. His descriptive talents are wasted on journalism. But the student's rantings fell on deaf ears, like a Japanese person listening to English for the first time.
He really ought to work on his similes first, though, to be
Honest.
I don't think it's a metaphor.
It's a simile, because it said like.
Or, I don't know
Anyway,
the
the
difference.
point is, that woman in the dock was mightily angry.
And her temper finally got the better of her, it seems. Dear me.
Which was the climactic moment I caught on film.
Boom!
It's like a
He like
gunshot.
snaps while he does it.
He just breaks it.
We should look
He
at
just
it
goes,
again.
No, he just breaks it.
yeah, he
He's
just,
just breaking it.
Oh, do it one more time.
he's just going like this.
He's breaking it
He has,
so
his, he
hard.
has his thumb up like this though, if you look at it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he's just look. His
No, I
thumb-
know he's just breaking it, but look.
It
Look at
looks,
the thumb.
it looks
Look
like
where
a
his thumb
snap.
is. It's
You
right.
see
It's
that?
over there.
Okay, well his
and
fingers are up
breaking.
like this, so it looks like.
Okay, but his thumb is clearly over his
Okay, you're right,
fingers.
you're
You don't snap like this. You
I'm
just
gonna try and
break.
snap it.
Alright, anyway. Did we press this already? We did.
Yeah. This one we have. The court is fully aware of your desire to capture the incident on film, I'm sure, but why then did you choose to post the photograph anonymously to the police?
I'm afraid I don't
Oh, you
understand
can't
a word
join
that's
today?
coming out of your mouth. Damn, you always gotta stream the best game when I can't join. Well, it's how it be sometimes.
I'm asking why, as a journalist, you decided not to make a story out of the incident.
Think of me as a sculptor who makes art out of the sordid, private details of other people's lives. But I never discuss my own personal life on principle. I mean, that's basic many-memoism.
It's not something to boast about.
No doubt your burning desire to see the truth exposed and justice done was what motivated you.
That's it, that's brilliant! My burning desire to see something or other exposed.
There has to be a good reason why he didn't think to write an article about what he saw, though.
By your own admission, you were outside the hut. How then did you manage to take the photograph? Ah, yes, that. I'm glad you
Don't
asked.
we know he parted the freaking...
Well, it's part of his testimony.
Yeah.
It's just leading into it.
But the two women inside didn't
Oh, we
notice?
pressed this.
Oh, yeah.
In jail, that's where I've been.
Okay, so we've pressed everything at this point.
I
Wait, we
don't
have?
know what to
Yes.
present.
I thought we like kind of skipped through some things.
Nope, we pressed everything at this point.
Present
We
the
have everything we
poison.
need.
Present the reagent.
Gotta be this thing.
Wait, go to the photograph again? I just want to like look at it again.
Never set foot inside. Okay, so let's see. The newspaper articles shouldn't have anything. Go back. Go back, please.
Press the button.
There we go. This shouldn't have anything to do with it.
Many memoism. Many memo? RM?
Where's the R?
I don't know, his first name?
I don't even know what his name is.
No, that's the
Wait,
thing.
look at the court record. What is his name?
I
It
can't.
should say.
There's
Can
no
you look
option
at
to go
that?
to the people.
Can you see the photograph name in the newspaper? I won't say.
Careful with this.
Nope.
I would just present the reagent. I don't know.
No, not the reagent yet.
What's
Maybe-
that thing on the very far left?
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
The postmortem.
Oh. And over there, the very far right?
Oh, yeah,
we
let's
haven't
examine
inspected,
this.
you're right.
Label appears to be written in a foreign language that I don't know.
It's German. So your knowledge of English is going to be of little help here, I'm afraid.
If you just have written medicine on it in Japanese, then we'd all be able to read it.
German is the international language of medicine, my dear. But yes, I can certainly see the merit in labeling the bottle in Japanese. Though I'm not sure medicine would be entirely appropriate.
It's
Really?
like half
Nothing else?
the top, right?
There's nothing else to examine.
Right. Wait, what's the very far right? Oh wait, we haven't
We
inspected
haven't
them, right?
accepted.
I mean, we have, haven't we? Ah, yes, this must be the victim's blood.
Oh dear, blood is never a pretty sight, is it? I'm having to fight the urge to run it under a hot tap. And
You've always been fastidious about cleaning and cleanliness, haven't you?
I think this is something else, Father.
But
Fastidious. So, fastidioso, it's spelled super similar to fastidious, means to be bothered, or something is bothering you. Fastidioso. So to be fastidious about something is like, I don't know. It has the same root as being bothered. Like, oh, you've always been really fastidious about that. Like, you always do it because it bothers you. You're fastidious about it.
Interesting.
God, this is stupid. It's just cool when you learn a different. You already know this when you. Well, maybe you don't. When you learn a different
It's true,
language.
it's not really Roman.
Yeah, when you learn a different
That's
language that comes
similar.
from Latin, that shares with Spanish, French, or English, you get like all these
Yeah.
cool interactions with words that you never realized.
Sure, there's lots of overlap between the languages of Romance.
Well, it's more just like, oh, I didn't realize that like that word does mean something else, but it comes from the same root word, and the root word means so much more. Anyways, whatever. I don't know.
If only we knew.
If only I could apply knowledge.
Go through the things again. I just want to see
I
all the
don't
different.
know.
No, the different.
The statements
things
or
that
the
he said.
evidence?
The statements.
I never once set foot in the hut. I pulled apart the rough weave.
Quick as a flash,
We didn't press that.
We did.
Wait, go back. Go back. You go
Seconds later, take apart the knife. Back.
back.
Okay, usually the only reason they add statements though is because it's the one you have to present on.
We presented the photo.
We did that other photograph. Not this one.
Present the other photograph. I don't know.
The only reason I can
No,
see
I
this
don't
is
do
because it
that.
might have to do with like positioning. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Objection!
Nope, wasn't this.
Wait, what did you just press?
The other photograph.
The other photograph. I don't think it's this thing.
You only use this statement.
Yeah.
Go in our stuff again.
Hold apart the rough weave of one of the screens and put it on the surface of the shot.
But the game literally had him add the statement to.
Wait, go back one. Oh wait, go back in his thingies.
You can't. What are you trying to look at?
A pen. Never mind.
Go back.
Go. Keep going. The part where he says, "I didn't want to publish it for whatever reason." Is that in part of his formal testimony?
Barely 24 hours back from LA and back to the grind. I've been
No.
back more than 24 hours.
You know, Rob.
Came back from Monday. It's been a hot minute at the very least. Almost 48 at this
Is that
point.
part of his formal testimony?
What?
Him saying that he didn't think it was newsworthy to publish the story?
No.
Never mind.
It's gotta be this last statement.
Wait.
I'm so certain.
I'm curious though because it says that she was sitting on right here. The English woman was sitting on a stool, and the student girl came in and started arguing with her. But then if you go to the photos,
No stool. No stool?
There's a
no, there's a stool. But like he's taking it from. I guess this wasn't his photograph. But like,
well, how would
see
he
how
see
the
whole
only
thing
thing.
unless he, yeah,
wait, go
how
back.
would he see the whole thing happen from start to finish unless he...
Because if you look at the picture, it shows the little crack in it.
Maybe present that, yeah.
What? I've
Not
already
this one.
presented
This one.
Oh, maybe present it on the wrong thing.
I'm so certain.
Really? So certain.
I'm so
Oh
certain
no,
it's
you
this
lost
statement.
another life.
I'm so certain it's this statement.
I don't know.
We're about to have to save scum.
Yep.
Okay, alright. On the statement, wait, what was the statement that you're so sure of?
That's the last one because they literally added it.
I never once set foot in the hut. Okay, present. You can't inspect that photo anymore?
I mean,
You
there's
can't
no,
re-inspect it?
Nope.
You can't inspect other photo? No?
What other? Oh no, you can't.
Can't inspect the photos. The knife, we've inspected everything on it. There's just blood.
Yeah.
Objection!
What? No, no. Even I could have told you no.
Okay, go save.
Alright, go save. Gosh dang it. We bought a save scum. I'm gonna text Colton so he can dislike the video. Again.
I am so clueless right now.
Okay.
I think it has to do with something with the whole... Because he kept on saying that he pulled apart the things. He's going through the thing. And then you can see... I don't know, because she got stabbed in the back. I don't know.
Present. Because we have to present something. We've pressed everything.
You want to present it here?
You said that you always present on the new statement.
I'm fairly certain.
Okay, present.
Nor spoke with the Englishwoman.
That's why I thought the newspaper article, but it
Yeah,
wasn't that.
he doesn't talk to her at all.
Apparently not.
Oh, but you did present that newspaper article.
I just presented that, yes.
On the very far right, what is it?
Plan. Layout. I also presented this. So the things I presented the beach hut plan, the photo, and this poison article.
What's the other article again?
It's
Yeah,
just
do this one.
an article about Soseki and
Yeah, okay.
is this what is this? It's about stealing? Yeah, deadly poison stolen.
Maybe present that.
Yeah, maybe this
Yeah,
one.
present this one.
We about to lose! Oh
Yep,
my gosh,
we
we lost. Save scum for the
All
first
right.
time.
No, second time.
I meant first time in this game.
That's true.
Someone
Alright,
text Colton.
Whoops.
at this point we're just gonna go through.
Present the pen.
I'm just going through.
Curious though.
Nope, not that one. Present the pen. We're save scumming again. Present the pen. Present the pen. Or we save scum again.
I don't think it's this.
Okay, you gotta do this. It is the pen apparently. What the fetch?
What the heck?
Wait.
So many Memo-san. It's RM. Gotta be his name. Anyways,
Well, we don't
Until
know
now,
that,
I've
so they
had
wouldn't
a
have us
firm
present
belief.
this here based on that.
right.
What the heck?
That newspapers are in the business of uncovering and publishing the truth.
Oh, it's this logo over here. That's what you're supposed to notice. I was wondering
Oh my, totally.
Duh.
Wow, how do we miss that? I'm dumb.
Yeah, spot on
To
there.
be fair, there's a week in between when I looked at that logo on the pen and seeing it now, okay? It would have been
Yeah,
more
it's been
readily
a while.
apparent had I gone from one
He
to the
literally
other.
pushes it in your face.
So many
No, but I know,
times.
but a whole week has gone
Yeah.
by without me looking at that
Yep,
symbol. I
yep.
didn't even think about it.
The press doesn't lie, which is why I'm proud to wear the emblem of the Shoyu News on my arm. In a way, that's more many-memoism.
Sadly, though, it seems the journalists who write for these papers don't always share the same passion for the truth.
What are you suggesting with those recriminatory words, Counsel?
Many Memo-san, do you recognize this fountain pen?
Ugh!
This pen was found at the scene of Miss Brett's death. In fact, the murdered victim was gripping it in her hand as she died.
What are you?
If you look at the barrel of the pen, you'll notice that its owner's initials are engraved there.
And how
I
would she
said
get
it.
it unless he's inside the
I
hut?
said it.
Well, yeah, that's why.
Are-
I just got it.
Yeah, I'm not denying you, but that's not something we
I
would
said
know.
that at the start, remember?
Okay, yeah, but that's not something we would
Guys
know.
want to replay it. One of the first things I said was, "Oh, the pen."
But we literally don't know his name. So
Well,
that's
I had
not
said
something
the
we can
But
do.
the
initials.
symbol.
You were guessing. Okay, but you were guessing that his name
I
was
was
that.
guessing. I was guessing.
That was me. Didn't I say that the whole
You said it before, like a while back.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said it light
Alright.
years ago.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Counsel. The initials of the accused, Remambambi.
Is it a
Remember.
coincidence, I wonder? That your initials are also RM?
No.
Rayton Many Memo, RM. Did we look at the people?
There was no way to look at the people. That's why.
You can't?
No.
Oh. That's horse dung.
Like you
Yeah.
can't look at it when you're like in the cross examination. You can only look at it here.
There we go, RM.
Okay, I think he did say his name at some point, so that was
Right.
technically
Our bad. Oh, so we did know. I did know.
Hey, but I didn't say
subconsciously.
him.
self-conscious. Can't you see? One of the central tenets of many-memoism is being a pencil user. Oh, that's why he's licking the pen, though. Oh, that's why he's licking the
Oh
pencil.
yeah, because he's used to using a pen.
Yeah. That's horse
Ah.
dung. I missed that part.
And yet, as the court will clearly be able to see on your right hand, there's pen ink. There's a very obvious blue ink stain.
It would appear that you must have rather carelessly left it somewhere recently. Your favorite fountain pen, that is. Horse dung.
Memo-san, is it not the case that before she died, you met with Giselle Brett in that beach hut?
Oh, dude.
Objection! Why should we listen to this absurd nonsense? It's nothing but another excuse.
Exactly. Show You News will stand behind me all the way. I deny everything. There must be as many people with the initials RM as there are stars in the night sky.
The defense has neither the time nor the inclination to count every star in the sky.
Hmm?
And there's no need anyway, because this pen has more to tell. Yes, there is another clue. A clue that undeniably proves who its owner really is.
In that case, counsel, the defense will now show the court where this alleged clue lies.
Of course, Your Excellency.
Well, then we have to show. Remember me. Careful. Okay.
Whoops.
Oh. Oh.
Actually, I think it is this though, because we've already talked about those things. We're trying to show who the owner is.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
This doesn't show
We're
that
showing
this doesn't
top,
show that's the
the
owner.
tip.
That doesn't show it's just the news.
Hold on, you should save. It's the back of the pen,
The
dude.
clue
It's
on
the
this
logo.
that clearly reveals its owner's identity.
Yeah,
Is the
why
logo.
wouldn't it be the logo?
Because he was only talking about the initials.
I'm
RM.
just glad it didn't immediately.
You guys want to bet on that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For
Oh,
sure.
a million percent.
All right. Oh, looks like you're right.
As well as
What
the
do you mean?
initials,
How
there's
would we
also
not be
an
right? There's
emblem
no other thing
on
that proves
this
he's the
fountain
owner.
pen.
Finn? Phineas Song?
An emblem that you will
I
of
want that
course
pen.
recognize. Many
Is that Finn?
son.
Yep.
Hi, Finn.
Duh. Goodness me, it's the emblem of the Show You News.
In other words,
I thought we
the
already came
owner
up with
of
that.
this pen.
Not gonna lie.
It's because we had discussed it. We didn't actually discuss it through this. Is an employee of the Show You News, whose initials are RM.
Welcome to the stream.
Suddenly, the stars in the night sky don't seem so numerous, do they? Oh, fetch. Well, Memo-san, how do you respond?
No. Order. Explain yourself.
Order.
So, this is how the mighty Supreme Court works, is it? Using coercive tactics to have well-meaning citizens reveal harmless secrets.
I've used nothing but honest tactics.
Alright then. Fine, I won't try to hide it anymore. Yes, not long before that grim tragedy unfolded. I, the Show You News reporter on behalf of the public, conducted an interview with the Englishwoman.
An interview.
You never mentioned this before.
Everything is
Yes.
a JoJo reference.
When exactly was this?
As I said, it was before that evil little student girl showed her face in the hut. It couldn't have lasted more than 2 or 3 minutes. That's all, it was just a brief exchange. But it came to nothing, and as we many memoists say, the people don't pay their dues for unworthy news. Got a regular old Dr. Seuss over here. However insignificant you deem it to be, this court cannot overlook the meeting between yourself and the victim. You will testify now under oath about the precise nature of this meeting and what transpired. Got it, yes, alright, but on one condition.
Condition?
In all good conscience, I couldn't speak out alone about this. You need to call back the earlier witness, Soseki Natsume-san.
Soseki-san?
Oh yes, according to my notes here, that man has a secret of his own, and brace yourselves, it's not a harmless one, it's big.
What?
What?
It's Oseki-san, actually.
Many
Twist.
memoism states that one man's secret is every other man's front page story. Very well, I will grant the witness's request in this instance. Officer, summon the earlier witness back to the stand.
Soseki-san
Who did
hiding
Soseki-san?
something. I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
I can't remember what his voice is though.
I'll get away with playing one character.
I mean, you can voice him.
Yeah. You should voice him.
No.
I asked the Englishwoman for an interview, but
Yeah,
she
I'm only doing one
declined,
character right
so
now.
I left the hut without making a fuss. Then, watching secretly
Oh,
from
okay.
outside, I saw the woman
I'm
being
so sorry.
stabbed, and the other witnesses come running. The detective realized that the victim still had a pulse, so he ran off to fetch help. That's when this writer man here asked the woman a very significant question. But he didn't say anything about that in his testimony, which is why many memoism demands I reveal it now. You mean to say the victim?
The victim regained
Regained
consciousness?
Ah, well,
And when she did, you decided to ask her a question?
That's true. Yes.
He did, and that's not all. The woman gave him a very definite answer, an answer that incriminates the accused.
The heck?
This is preposterous. Why am I only hearing about this now? Why didn't you mention this before, you yokel hack?
It wasn't even a conversation. Yes, I did pose the withering English Rose a question. I don't deny it.
The withering.
But she could no longer speak. She was barely conscious even.
Counsel for the defense, I expect a thorough cross-examination to be conducted here. This court must and will know the truth.
Absolutely, Your Excellency. Reporters claiming that Miss Brett implicated Ray somehow? What on earth could have happened in that hut?
Yeah, honestly, if the heck she regained consciousness and there was...
Maybe that's when she started to write. with
And
the
then,
pen.
so she regains consciousness, but then who
She
pulls the
couldn't-
knife out of her back?
She couldn't...
When does that photo get taken place?
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. She gets stabbed, then regains consciousness. He asks her a question, and then what's-her-face pulls the knife out of her and she falls back down to the ground? I already see so many flaws.
Alright, let's see. We're gonna go straight to the question, and we're probably gonna have to talk to Soseki.
Yeah. What question? What exactly did he say?
Well now, you should hear that from the horse's mouth, I think. Don't you, Mr. Writer Man?
Out with it, you yokel hack! What did you say to the dying English woman?
Well, in truth, I had been catching crabs at the water's edge and building castles in the sand, you see.
Well, the seaside is a place to be at leisure, I suppose, even for a grown man.
Judged.
But then all of a sudden, from that little beach hut, a young girl's panic-stricken cries for help pierced the air. Ray. I ran up the beach to see what was happening, to find the defendant leaning over the collapsed victim. As soon as Inspector Osanaga saw Miss Brett on the ground, he sprinted off to get help. And then, just a moment later, I heard a faint moan, a moan from the dead Englishwoman. I nearly jumped out of my skin. But what did you ask her, Soseki-san? I asked her, who did this to you?
Don't protract this any longer. How did the woman respond?
She didn't. She said nothing in response. But...
When in the stand, you will answer the questions asked of you unambiguously. Now, without evasion or reticence, I demand that you amend your testimony.
I will! What?
But she, and then we cut him off.
So you tried to find out who the culprit was. He who asks a question is a fool for a minute. He who does not remains a fool forever. And having been labeled a criminal twice during my time in Great Britain, I was quick to make up my mind. Better to be a fool for a minute than remain a fool in prison forever.
I mean, hey.
However, you've
Not
indicated
wrong.
that the victim failed to respond. Is that correct?
I know why. I know why the Englishwoman said nothing. She was ignoring me because of my stupid mustache. That's when I sound like stupid. Because I'm Japanese.
Racist.
Oh dear, Soseki-san has really developed a dislike for the English, it seems.
Ah, he's
He's
the
racist.
racist one. Having read the report on his time in Great Britain, I can't say I'm surprised at his xenophobia.
Wow!
Hey, it only takes one bad experience.
Yeah.
But the Englishwoman didn't ignore you at all, did she, Mr. Writer-Man?
Huh? Well, yes, alright. She did respond in a manner of speaking, I suppose. I think I'm pointing it in the direction of the defendant.
Hold it!
Miss Brett pointed a finger at the defendant? So Seki-san, is that really true? It's not easy to stand here and say this, but when we first entered the beach hut, the Englishwoman was sprawled on the floor before us and the student girl standing on the far side of her. When I asked, "Who did this to you?" the Englishwoman summoned her last ounce of strength and pointed a trembling finger at the back of the hut, which was, it can't be denied, in the direction of the student girl who stands accused today.
Oh, now we present the photo with the hole at the back of the hut where you took the photo!
Yep.
But you don't really know, though.
No.
Real
So
no skin out of
Seki-san,
polo.
why on earth did you neglect to mention this in your original testimony? Fiddlesticks! League of Legends. This is not a British court of law. You will respond in Japanese.
Oh, oh!
I don't know how to speak Japanese, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Yes,
nice
it
no
was.
watashi wa.
The Englishwoman did point her finger towards the back of the hut, but I was trembling and she was trembling and everything was a blur. And thinking about it, I feel as though perhaps she was pointing in a slightly different direction. Actually, no, not slightly, and in a very different direction to where the student girl was standing. Somewhere at the back of the hut, where nobody was standing at all. You mean that your memory of events and the direction in which the victim was pointing are both unclear? Yes, that's it, unclear. I'm very, very unclear.
Objection! Your Excellency, surely this proves the matter beyond all reasonable doubt. Even though he said, I have no idea. Yes, the woman may barely have been conscious, and yes, perhaps her finger wavered slightly. But there can be no doubt that this was an attempt by the victim to confirm the identity of her assailant. Why? Because as the court can see, there was no one other than the accused in the direction the victim was pointing. It is now abundantly clear that no one besides the accused could possibly have committed this crime.
I am inclined to agree.
You are
and in
stupid.
the absence of any credible argument to the contrary, I believe we can now conclude this trial.
Oh.
Hey, he
No.
hasn't seen the photo yet.
No!
Yeah, it's in evidence. What do you mean he hasn't seen it?
Why was the judge have seen this?
The judge always sees everything admitted into evidence.
The headline's writing itself. Dashing lawyer hopes dashed. 92 points across the whole page. We'll do an extra edition. This is a serious blow, Susato.
Not really.
Unless we're able to identify the true culprit and substantiate our claim with evidence. The judge will give his ruling, and the trial will be over.
But that's impossible, Father.
The judge is aged. He missed the hole with his eyes, you know?
Yeah.
He can't
We don't
see
even
these
know
What did you
details.
say?
how the crime was
He's
committed
aged.
yet.
He missed the hole with his eyes.
Okay. I heard Asian. The judge is
Oh my.
Asian. He can't see with his eyes.
Oh
and I was
my
like,
gosh.
what the heck, Thomas?
You're racist.
No, I'm not.
Hearing that?
I was just shook. I was like, that's why I wanted to clarify. I was like, what did you just say?
Impossible
Aged.
though the task may seem, we have no choice. We must think back over everything we've learned thus far. Somewhere in all those details, I'm confident we'll find the clue we need.
I'm confident too, but
Right,
I'm
give us
confident
her
we need to
account
inspect it at least
Of
once.
how events unfolded
To
in the
make sure.
defendant's antechamber before the trial resumed. She told us what happened at the precise moment when Miss Brett was killed. She was sitting at the back of the hut. Then got to her feet and fell over, stabbed. How could Miss Brett have been stabbed in the back in a beach hut that was empty but for herself and Ray? Somewhere amid all the information we've gathered so far,
Okay.
there must be an answer to that
Okay.
question.
Come
We
on.
already know.
Okay, yep.
I take it then that the defense has nothing further to add.
So the gallant Yokel student's luck finally runs out. I can't say I'm surprised.
In that case, I am ready to deliver my final verdict on this matter.
This is a crucial turning point now. If I can't establish what really happened, it's over.
It's all over.
Where was the real culprit hiding? I know how.
I don't know.
I know
Oh
how.
no.
Yes, I am.
Muhammad Abdul!
Your Excellency, I respectfully ask you to postpone your adjudication for the time being.
Hail to you.
Oh, but to what end, Counsel?
The defense
Goodbye,
would like to present the court
Jojo.
with an alternative
No,
theory.
you guys got it going. It's too late.
Alright, you gotta stop. It never ends.
Jaggers.
An alternate theory that can explain who the victim was actually trying to implicate with her dying gesture.
Objection! An alternative theory? Ha! None exists.
There was someone else present at the scene who could have committed this crime.
Wow!
And the victim, Miss Brett, tried to reveal who it was to those around her at the time by mustering all her remaining strength and pointing a trembling finger in the killer's direction.
This is fiction, fantasy.
Very well. As you seem so sure of yourself, Counsel, I am prepared to hear your alternative theory. So, young Yutaro Naruhodo,
Yes, Your Excellency.
you will present your latest theory to the court by means of this plan. At the moment of the victim was stabbed, where exactly are you proposing the victim
I'm scared.
was
I'm
concealed?
scared. Save. I'm scared. Save. I'm scared.
Right there.
I'm scared it'll mess.
Naruhodo-san would never give up, and I'm a Naruhodo now. The true culprit who fatally stabbed Miss Brett was concealed in this location here.
You'll never reach the truth by being scared, Matt.
Are you mad, Counsel? You're suggesting the culprit was outside the hut?
Ah!
People are so stupid.
Order!
But student lawyer Naruhodo-san Esquire! That makes no sense at all. Yeah, after he literally explained that he was outside the
You
hut. this
just
whole
pointed out the exact spot where I was hiding to get my scoop snap. But I didn't see any suspicious individuals loitering about, I can swear to that.
Obviously, if the culprit had been outside the hut, there's no way that he or she could have stabbed the victim who was inside the hut.
Maybe through the freaking holes that the guy was pulling through the thing, and maybe it was the guy. Actually, Prosecutor Ouchie, there is a way.
Ah,
And in point of fact, the defense can provide evidence strongly suggesting that that is precisely the way Miss Brett was killed.
You're bluffing! You're bluffing, you yokel!
The defense's assertion is clearly too fantastical for the court to comprehend. You will need to give us some more guidance, Counsel. What piece of evidence corroborates your theory that the victim was
Bro,
stabbed
going
from the
on one
outside
life
the hut?
freaks me out. Save.
It's this one. It's the picture that has the thingy that's you can
Save.
see the thing.
Por favor, save.
Alright.
I'm not even afraid.
I know we know what happened, but I don't know what the developers wanted us to know what happened.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure what
It's the
I
picture
want.
that has the thingy that's
Yeah,
right behind
I mean,
the thing.
I'm
It's
sure,
obvious. It's
but
this
like,
one.
Present it.
Present.
Send it.
The original photographic print of the crime scene?
Right. Good.
Yes, it's clearly visible in this print. The trace of the fatal thrust that was delivered from the outside the beach hut.
Do you take us for fools? There's no hint of any such thing.
Are you blind? I'm not sure that everyone present would agree. Someone, at least, appears to have noticed what it is that I'm referring to.
Counsel, once again, I must call on you to be explicit for the court. Where on this photograph is the trace of the stabbing, which you claim took place from the outside the hut?
Boom, baby.
the Asian old
Look
man
closely,
can't see.
just here.
Remember how it was the back of the hut? If we look at the back of the hut,
Oh my!
I know. In the screen at the back of the hut, you can see the effects of a blade having been forced through the reeds.
I mean, that could be anything. It doesn't
Or a
have to be a
camera.
blade.
No, I can't see any such thing.
Are you sure you have your glasses on correctly? It's true that the hut in question had 4 walls, as you'd expect. However, by parting the reeds, a knife blade could easily penetrate them.
This is extraordinary.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yes.
Impossible.
Only cameras can fit through there.
The true The true culprit actually stabbed the victim from outside the beach hut. And if everyone,
Seki-san, afraid of everything.
and of everyone present at the scene, there is only one person who could have done that.
Mystery Man X, who wasn't present at
Only
the scene.
one person who was directly outside the hut when Miss Pratt was killed. Right and many Memo-san, it could only have been you.
Right? And...
Writing
Many
Writing.
memos. I'm writing many memos.
Writing.
many
memos.
memos.
Writing many memos.
No!
Do their names also do that in? I mean, I assume they do.
What,
In Japanese.
Japanese? Yeah, they're usually puns too.
And his is just ouchie, like ouchie.
Yes.
This preposterous idea leaves me almost speechless. Just look at the photograph again. The victim lies almost exactly in the center of the beach hut, does she not? Are we to assume, as part of this farcical scenario, that the
people
assailant
stupid?
was a knife thrower?
Are people stupid? Like her feet are literally right by the thing, so like she would have fallen. No, of course not, you idiot.
We're not.
If you recall the testimony of the defendant about the events just before the victim's death,
Inside the beach hut, I
I
confronted
it's a
Miss Brett.
flashback, it's
yeah.
fine.
Wait, but we can still read it.
Nah, we don't need flashbacks.
A stool?
Have another look at the photograph, you idiot.
Kono baka desu.
The slit in the reed screen, as I just showed, would align perfectly with the back of a person who was sitting on that stool.
My word, so in fact, the victim was...
Killed while sitting on that stool by a stab wound to her back delivered through the reed screen.
Oh!
Having been attacked, Miss Brett rose to her feet instinctively, but then, unable to speak, she collapsed on the floor in the middle of the hut, before the defendant, Membami-san's appalled eyes. And that, Your Excellency, is the truth of what happened on the beach that day.
I'll have to go over the pen and the knife.
Yeah, there's more.
By your silence, Memo-san, I take it that you don't deny the charge.
This is absurd! Oh!
That will do.
Not even order.
It would appear that we have a tacit admission of guilt from the witness. Accordingly, this court has successfully established the truth of this matter, which means that the defendant, Membami-san, is innocent of the crime.
Really? That easy?
Oh, thank goodness.
He's gonna say something. He's gonna be like, but there's no way I could have done
Finally
it.
made him cave.
I must say, I've never been more proud.
No, this can't be. The Ouchie clan can't.
Don't worry. Nothing's happening over here. Keep continuing.
You just got water on his phone.
And mine. It's
Is
fine.
it waterproof?
It's fine. It's.
Thomas,
wasn't
is it
even, like,
waterproof?
A full bunch
Yeah.
of water. It's
Water
fine.
resistant, actually.
It's fine.
Okay, well we can still clean the water off it.
Well, I was just gonna do that. You can keep reading your lines, babe. It's fine.
You don't have to be embarrassed. I can help you clean
I'm
it
not
up.
embarrassed. Just keep reading your lines.
What of my growth? My growth of hope. It wasn't all an apparition. I can't accept this. I won't.
I see no reason for the continuance of this trial. I will
therefore move to hold it.
time for
course.
evil Membami-san or many memo. Well, this is all very convenient. This is how the highest court in our mighty empire delivers justice, is it? Suppressing well-meaning citizens, freedom to speak and branding them as criminals?
But we've established that the victim was stabbed from the outside the hut through the reed.
And no one but you was in place at the time to have his hand on the hilt of the blade. It's a perfectly logical deduction. So, your argument hinges on the location of whoever stabbed the Englishwoman, does it? Here you go, classic. We have proof, but not enough. Well, it seems a little irrelevant now.
Irrelevant.
Where she was stabbed, how she was stabbed, it doesn't matter. I mean, whether she was stabbed at all makes no difference if you think about it. After all, this trial's already shown the whole thing hinges on something else.
What are you talking about?
Brace yourselves, little man. I'm talking about the fact that everything's changed. Because of the dirt you dug up.
What?
Enough obscurity. Explain yourself with this.
What's to explain? I'm talking about the poison, of course.
Came back negative.
The poison?
Let's ask the professor for a comment on the situation, shall we? I understand that a deadly poison you were developing was stolen from your laboratory, correct? And it's been shown that this poison was administered to the victim, Miss Brett, is that right?
That is correct. The unusual constriction of the victim's pupils are a sure sign that this particular poison was used.
It's just water. I'll get it later.
I see. So presumably by that means that the victim already had been poisoned, had the poison in her body before she was stabbed.
Oh!
Given that her pupils were clearly constricted, it seems highly likely, yes. If she had been dead already, the poison could not have circulated in her blood. I mean, technically your body keeps operating right after you die.
Oh my gosh.
How refreshing to hear the argument of a metropolitan mind. Precisely. It matters not a jot who stabbed whom and who's back in with whose blade. Because quite simply, the English woman's life was taken not by the knife, but by the poison.
But that can be explained by the poison being on the blade, as I already...
Forgotten already, have we, Yokel? During these very proceedings, the laboratory of the professor at your side assisted in proving that the blade of the weapon used to attack the victim had no trace of poison on it whatsoever.
Ugh.
So let me get this down. The facts, as skillfully established by the defense in this trial, turn out to be a headline-making red herring. Is that about right?
Ugh.
I mean, you still stabbed
well,
her. Like,
Ah!
honestly, you still stabbed her.
I
Yeah,
know.
but different crime. That's
I
just
know, but
desecrating a corpse. I'm sure that's
I
less
mean-
serious. Order. But where does this leave us? How, in that case, did the poison enter the victim's body? There is an undeniably obvious answer to that. The lady most likely imbibed it.
What the
You
freak?
mean she drank it?
Have another look at the photograph here. As you can see,
Ah, the wine glass.
a bottle of carbonated water and a glass had been knocked onto the sandy floor of the beach hut. The poison could have been slipped into either.
So somebody made Miss Brett drink it.
Well, what do you know? Look at all those dashing eyes. This will make a great front page shot. Hey, why the bewitching stare? After all, I'm the last person you should be looking at.
You still stabbed? I don't know.
It would make no sense at all that I poisoned the woman, would it?
It would
I
make no
mean,
sense that you stabbed her.
That's been established already.
Established? What are you talking about?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. That's a little hard to believe, given that the person who established it was you.
Me? What on earth does he mean?
Oh, let me capture those wide eyes. This is prime press fodder, this is. It would
somebody
seem
even
that
be
this
allowed to
trial
have a
is...
camera like that out in court?
It would seem that this trial is not destined to end yet, after all. I hereby call upon the witness to give further testimony. That's great, that is. Let me get a shot of that magnificent beard, Your Excellency.
Oh my
You
gosh.
claim it to be impossible that you were the one responsible for administering the poison to the victim. You will explain to the court in your testimony the basis upon which you make such a claim.
I'm a journo, and I'm a man. I've never tried to run or hide from anything in my life. And I'm not about to start now, because that's many-memoism.
For a brief moment, I thought I'd illuminated the truth, but it slipped right back into obscurity again. Where is this trial going to take us?
Just start lying. What do you do if they start lying? Like, okay.
And you're like proof, because you know you're the protagonist of the game.
If there's anything I learned from the Amber Heard trial, you ain't need proof. And you can fake evidence.
Yes, I stabbed the English
Not
woman.
what this game does. Oh yes, I stabbed the English woman, and it's the very fact that proves I'm innocent. Because why would I have bothered to stab the woman if I had already poisoned her? When I heard the student girl and that pompous English murderer arguing, it got my goat. If the courts weren't going to punish Brett for what she did, someone else would have to see justice done.
The same argument he just used to clear himself, you can use to clear the victim. Why would the victim stab her if she already poisoned her?
Exactly.
Well,
He
saying-
just said that to be like, why would I do it if I
why
already
would she
poisoned
pull
her?
out the blade?
So why
to
would she
try to
stab
help
her if she already poisoned
She
her?
already
Well, the whole
poisoned
point
her.
is that he's saying he stabbed her, and they're saying that she didn't stab her.
I know, but he's also saying I didn't poison her.
Yeah, he's saying
Because why
that-
would I poison her? Or why would I... He's saying
He's saying
there's
it
no need to
proves
stab
me
someone if they're
innocent.
poisoned. So he's saying I
I'm
didn't poison
innocent
her.
because I've stabbed her.
Yeah, he's not saying I didn't stab her. He's saying I didn't poison her. Why would I go through the trouble of stabbing her if she was already poisoned by me? I didn't poison her. That's what he's saying. So if you can use his same logic to defend ourselves, why would she stab her
Right, exactly.
if she had poisoned her?
And also,
That's what he's saying with that statement.
Okay, but he's also saying that she didn't stab her.
no,
is what he's
actually,
saying with the
he had.
statements.
I know
virtually
he's
said
saying that I know he's saying that she didn't. Oh, so
I know-
he's
I know
saying
what you're
I
saying.
stabbed her. No, he's also if you look at the court record, he also was saying I didn't stab her.
Right.
No, he's saying he stabbed her.
Because why would I have bothered to stab the woman if I'd already poisoned
So he's
her?
saying he wouldn't have
He
poisoned
goes,
her.
oh yes, I stabbed the English woman.
He's saying he stabbed
And
her.
it's that very fact that proves I'm
Because
innocent.
he's saying there's no point in stabbing a person that's already dead.
Yeah, he's literally admitting to stabbing her.
And
That's
so
crazy.
his argument for stabbing her is it got my goat.
He got my goats.
I heard two people arguing. It pissed me off, so I stabbed one of them.
So stupid.
And I am innocent.
Well, he's technically saying that, she's not gonna get justice, I'm gonna give her justice. Is what he's technically saying, you know. Because he's all about justice and being a good guy.
No, he just said many mannerisms as I'm an observer, and
you
I
admitted
don't
that
put
every
myself
time
in
and
No,
every
there.
described.
we don't worry about that.
Dude, what the heck? Alright.
We don't worry about the things he just
Give me
said.
that guy.
But you are the one who stabbed Miss Brett in the back through the read screen.
You can blame this miserable country of ours. A country that bows to the pressure of foreign powers and lets murderers walk free.
Well, attempted murder. We could charge him with attempted murder.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what
you
we're trying to
can. But the whole point is we're trying to get our client to be not guilty.
True, fair
We don't
enough.
care about what happens to him.
do. I guess that's true.
What kind of future can a country like that have? That's why I did it. I did what our pathetic leaders didn't have the guts to do. Slap bang in the middle of that charming lady's back, I plunged the blade of sweet justice right in there.
Oh. Ouchie's like, this is not helping my client.
As someone who spends his life seeing that the truth is told, I feel really, really awful about giving false information in my testimony before. But as it turns out, there was somebody else who had it in for the victim and got to her before me. That's right, you guessed it. That pretty little student girl. Now there's a woman after my own heart.
You're implicating Ray again.
She's the one who gave the poison to the Englishwoman and ended her pitiful existence. And suddenly, snap, this journal here is off the hook.
The argument is sound, certainly. If the witness had administered the poison himself, he need only have waited for it to take effect. Subsequently stabbing the victim in the back would have been entirely nonsensical.
And therefore, this reporter had nothing to do with the poisoning. Yes, it's all quite logical. I was looking at Lupin photos again.
That's right, it is logical and true. I'm glad you've seen the light. Justice at last.
This is unbelievable.
This guy should be our main character.
After I've made so much progress in proving his guilt, is he going to get away with it now?
Now we prove that the thing held poison.
Well, yeah.
Pen. Okay.
And we use the
Yeah.
reagent we
On the pen.
received.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright.
Oh, yep. Think of Kazuma-sama and Naruhito-sama. They never stopped looking for a way to forward until the judge's final gavel.
Very well, counsel. Proceed with what I assume to be your final cross-examination in this trial.
He said that like 5 times.
You know?
This
Yes,
trial
you're
is
isolated.
conclusive. My word! This trial's oh my gosh! This trial's oh my!
That's literally this game in a nutshell.
Wait.
What are we waiting on?
Are we presenting something?
No, I'm just seeing I can use the reagent on this end anyway. Actually, it's probably gonna be done through presenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright.
So present that, but not with this one.
Let's see.
Go to
I
the
stabbed the
thing.
English woman, proved
No.
I'm innocent. While they're stabbed, I already
That one.
poisoned her.
That one. You press the one where it says
Hold
poison.
on, just keep going
I
first.
bombed it. Okay, yeah, that's what's gonna. Okay, I think it is this one. Yes.
Press the one where you poison. Why would I bother to stab her? Or why would I bother?
And that you didn't give the poison to the victim?
Obviously, that'd be like putting a belt on your trousers when you were already wearing braces like these.
What if he's actually wearing a belt on his trousers?
I'm so confused.
That would
Why
be
would he
funny.
actually stab her then?
It's
To make sure
it's
that
so.
she...
I think he has an excuse to go in.
And I also think he stabbed her so that he knew that the girl would try to help, and he wanted to get a picture of her holding the knife in her mouth.
The accused administered the poison, following which this witness stabbed the victim.
Which also makes sense why Ray was later trying to remove the knife and not right away.
Right.
Yeah.
An unforgivable act, certainly, but not one of murder. That crime rests on the accused's shoulders. That is how the law works, you see, Yokel.
Technically, the death does say from a knife. The official record of how she died says from a knife. Technically speaking, if we want to go off
Death
of
is
that,
believed to be due to trauma to the victim's
yeah,
lung.
in the official report.
It's believed.
Yeah.
It's not official.
Yeah, but it doesn't say it's believed to be poison. Why would we go off something that's not even in the post-mortem report?
Well, the whole way is we discovered more about it.
But like if you go...
I'm
it's-
just saying,
there's something fatal
if I'm the judge
hemorrhage.
and I'm looking at this, I would say the fact that you stabbed her doesn't clear you. If anything, it incriminates you more because
Yeah.
the post-mortem record
Well, the
says
whole point is-
they died from
Literally.
a
Well,
knife.
the whole point is we spent all this whole time proving that it wasn't. The
I'm
knife.
saying, okay, this is the only thing I'm
Anyways,
saying.
let's go
Well,
on.
no, let me finish saying.
Okay.
The only thing I'm saying is, right now, they're all acting like, oh no, you poisoned it. Raymond Bombi poisoned him. But what I'm saying is, he should be the one to prove that Raymond Bombi poisoned someone. We shouldn't have to prove that she didn't poison someone. Because there's no evidence, there's no conclusive official evidence.
Well, he's not. He's not. I mean, he's not saying Raymond Bomb. He doesn't care about that. He's just saying that he stabbed her, and he's not the one that poisoned her, which
No,
points
but
it towards Raymond
but the whole
Bomb.
reason Raymond Bombi was brought in was because of the stabbing. So I'm saying,
then the whole
technically
point is-
we've already cleared her of the stabbing,
But the whole
so there's
point
no
is-
reason to
Over
put something on her that isn't there. You
Well,
get what
the
I'm
whole,
saying?
the whole point is the whole point is she's probably brought in for the murder of Jezael Bretz, not just the stabbing specifically of Jezael Bretz.
Anyways,
No, but the
let's
whole reason she was
continue.
brought in for the murder was only because of the
But
stabbing.
the whole point is the whole course of the trial, we proved that she died by
But no
poison.
one proved that we poisoned her.
Well,
And
yeah.
the only conclusive evidence of why we got brought in was because of the knife.
Yeah, but the whole point is like
So we're cleared.
we're not cleared.
No, you can't. You're putting. You get what I'm saying?
No.
So we're arrested not because of any poison, and we're brought into court not because of any poison at all, only for the stabbing. So if we cleared her and said she didn't stab him, she's immediately cleared. She's innocent till proven guilty. He now has the burden of proving that she poisoned her.
Okay, well, in this game,
That's what I'm saying, though.
Okay, but-
Doesn't that make sense?
well, in these games, it's always you're guilty until proven
No,
innocent.
I know, but do you see what I mean? They just are putting guilt on her that didn't exist in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, for sure, but it's guilty until proven innocence.
Right.
And the whole point is we proved that it wasn't a knife and it was poison. That is literally
We
what
did
spent-
prove that she died of a knife and not poison, but the reason we got brought in was because of the knife.
Sure, but like the whole point is like now she's suspected of administering the poison
How?
Essentially,
because there's no one else.
listen,
No, there is. There's
she
him.
Because
first
she has a
came
motive.
in
Because she has a motive.
thinking that,
So does he.
that
He
she
just proved he had
died
a
from
motive.
being stabbed,
Yeah, but
and then we
he's- but he's-
proved
but
that
he's
she
saying that
died
he
from
stabbed her.
poison, and then
I know, but he also has a motive. Though.
Okay, well let's continue. It's fine.
He also has a motive, though.
It's
That's
true.
what I'm saying.
It's true.
All the same things you can say about our victim, you can say about his.
Yeah.
And we cleared our victim
But
of
this
the
isn't
initial
his
charges.
case. This is her case.
Yeah,
I know, but the
he can
only
say whatever
thing
he
No,
about
wants.
our
I
case-
know.
He's a witness. He can say whatever he wants.
I know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, no matter what he says, she's cleared.
I don't think so, but either.
Why not?
Because the whole point is we spent time proving that it was poison,
It was
so
poison.
that means if there's a
So
possibility,
now-
if there's a possibility that she poisoned her, then she's still guilty
Accused
until
of-
proved innocent.
Right.
I mean, there's a possibility that Soseki-san poisoned
Yeah.
her, that our so I'm just saying, unless
But the
there's
whole point is
conclusive
we're
evidence.
trying for her. She's in trial for
But the
murder.
trial is only about the knife.
It's about the murder.
I know,
It is about
but
the
she was
murder.
brought in because of the knife.
That is why she was brought in as a
Because
suspect.
they
yes.
thought she died from the knife.
But it's still about the murder.
Okay. So, there's a shooting on a corner. I'm brought in because I was running on the corner. If we cleared me for running on the corner, I should be cleared of the shoot. And then like, oh no, the shooting actually was a stabbing. It's like, okay, but I'm cleared because you brought me in on a shooting and I had a gun and I was running on the corner. Right? So if you cleared me and said they didn't die from a shooting, I'm good to go.
Well, the whole point is you could have stabbed them, though.
But
Right.
that isn't why you brought me in. You brought me in because you thought I shot them.
Anyways,
There's no proof of me that I stabbed
technically
them. That's all I'm
they
saying.
only brought her in for the murder, not just for the stabbing. It was for
But
the
why did they bring
murder
her in
of
for the murder?
Because they originally thought it was a stabbing.
There you go. And they have not proven. The only thing they've proven is that it was a knife.
But we proved that it was
We
poison.
haven't proved.
Yes, we did.
I mean, it's speculation. The official
right.
post-mortem report says stabbing.
Right.
And even if we proved it was poison, it doesn't matter because the only proof they have that we did anything was the knife.
I know.
And actually, to the contrary, she's helping her.
Right.
If there was poison, she was helping her.
Well, yeah, that's literally what she was doing.
So
But that's not.
she's cleared.
No, because she does not proven innocent.
Well, she's not proven guilty either.
But if
Exactly.
you're guilty until proven innocent
Exactly.
in this game.
Exactly.
But that's dumb. I'm saying
That's-
in real life,
Okay,
it's innocent
yes,
until proven
I know,
guilty,
but
and
it's
there's
a
no
dumb
reason
game.
for
Let's
it.
But the whole
continue.
point is that this game wouldn't happen. I'm not even gonna read that line.
Go.
This game wouldn't happen if it was innocent until proven guilty. Like that's why you're, or you just
That's
be
what he's
playing.
been saying
You would
the
just be
whole
playing
time.
the prosecutor at that point. But that's
What
why
I'm saying, I'm
you're
just-
guilty until proven innocent in this game. That's the whole
You
premise
can
of the
just
game.
argue.
This is fun.
Argue
Let
with
me
the game
talk. That's
players.
part of
This
the
Argue
game.
This
with the
is-
game makers.
This is how we want to play the game. 2 consecutive attempts in on her life in the space of 2 minutes. Quite a day for the victim. Do something that evil and you've got it coming. That's how the law works. The law of reckoning.
That's not the kind of law this court upholds.
You will reiterate why you were compelled to stab the victim then with this. Yeah, that didn't teach us anything.
You say he also had motive and the time frame to do it.
Yeah. But the whole point is he's
So
not the one being tried.
You do admit
and
that you had
he's
murderous
guilty until proven
intentions
innocent.
towards Miss Brett then.
That's it. That's
I'm just talking in a real. If this
It's
was a
not.
real life
It's
situation,
not though.
she would immediately be
The
cleared.
problem is the premise of the game in real life are
I know.
already different.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're
right.
probably right.
Ha! That woman's very existence offended
It's
my
not
sense
property,
of
damn
justice.
right.
Oh yeah, in real life.
In real life,
It's like
you're
in
immediately
real life,
cleared.
you'd probably be right.
Even if it was
Your sense
suspicious,
of-
you're cleared.
He's claiming some sort of righteous indignation.
She was pure evil, a cold-blooded killer who committed murder right here on our empire's soil. But did our good-for-nothing government do anything? Not a chance, so I had to step in. Fly the flag of justice, put things right for the people. Yes, it was my civic duty. That's what drove me to do it.
Which is the same argument.
So in summary, murderous intentions then.
Whatever you want to call it, the point is this. That Englishwoman was a light, so I had to do what was right for society.
Yet a real wrong was done by the student girl in
Continue.
the dock, a crime for which she must pay.
Obviously, because the poisoning was nothing to do with me at all. Okay, I'm not learning anything about this.
Hold it!
I don't think I'll get anything from this, but
What exactly were you arguing about? Were they arguing about?
about what happened in that restaurant 9 months ago, that's what. The student girl was laying into the Englishwoman for killing her beloved mentor, Dr. Wilson. Yes, John H. Wilson, a professor of medicine invited here from England by Professor Mikulova, no less. Right, but the Englishwoman just jeered.
Her case was to be heard by the British consular court in Shanghai. However, there's little doubt that she would simply have been acquitted and sent back to her homeland a free woman.
It was eating that student girl up inside. You can see it. I really felt for her. see, so there was nothing, so we had to press.
I can't. I can't stand here and listen to this tripe.
Ray,
Young girl, you stand accused here. You can't just blurt out whenever you feel like it.
No, you can't. Sorry, but I'm in the middle of some very important testimony here. Just keep quiet and listen.
But this awful man is making all of this up. Susato, please, you have to make them listen.
Return to the dock at once, Membami-san. We are in the middle of cross-examination.
Your Excellency, please, I implore you. That journalist is clearly not a trustworthy witness.
Exactly. He's a filthy, rotten, black-hearted, bigoted, dirty, great peeping Tom.
Wow, take it easy there.
Please, I really think the court should hear what the defendant has to say.
Your Excellency, I see no need whatsoever to entertain the accused remarks.
I will grant the request of the defense.
But, Your Excellency!
This is likely to be the final cross-examination of these proceedings. As such, I believe it would be ill-advised to stifle the defendant's obvious concerns. So, whilst recognizing that this contravenes regular protocol, I hereby call upon the defendant to speak.
Oh. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
I wonder if that's what they actually said.
It was nothing to do with Dr. Wilson. We were discussing the stolen poison.
Hold it!
Stolen poison that killed the victim, you mean?
I suspected her of being the one to steal it. I mean, just think about how she killed Dr. Wilson.
That's true. Additionally, Miss Brett certainly had knowledge of the new poison. But surely it would be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin being developed for the government. Indeed, all visitors to the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be,
Very difficult.
That's true.
would be very difficult.
I pestered Professor Mikitoba until he agreed to show me the poison when I visited his laboratory.
Sus, why would you want to see that?
But as I left, I was searched from top to tail.
Miss
It made me
Brett
spread my cheeks.
rather bluntly
It-
revealed the existence of the toxin we've been developing.
It proves even more that it was the dude, that was the
Because he was
photographer.
taking photos.
Because he was the interviewer dude, and then he filled it in his pen, and he was able to get away with it.
And since Soseki-san expressed such an interest in it, I felt unable to refuse. It's all a big ploy. Soseki-san's in on it.
Oh my.
Obviously, I gave nothing away other than the fact that it was an extremely potent substance.
I'm very ashamed of myself. It's just that I've had a singularly, terrible experience with a deadly poison.
So that means you want to go see more?
I wanted to look my old enemy in
Literally.
the eye. Surely you can understand that.
To find out if my suspicions were true, I confronted Miss Brett about the poison. I told her that if there were to be an incident involving it somehow, it wouldn't just be the university. The military would be dragged into it. The whole government even. It would be a complete disaster.
So just how Britt didn't actually steal the poison.
No?
Which is why they were arguing.
She's like, you did it! No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
And how did Miss Brett respond to your concerns?
She just curled those beautiful lips of hers and she said she didn't know the first thing about it. In English, actually.
Yes. Many Memo-san. One small question if you don't mind.
I do mind, can't you see I'm busy?
Clearly you were outside the beach hut listening in whilst the defendant and Miss Brett were conversing. Presumably then, it was you who wrote this article about what you'd heard. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. The story was published in this morning's edition of Shoyu News. The details are too accurate for it to have been written by anyone else.
Sorry, don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, look at this. The entire article is almost what I said to Miss Brett, word for word.
Ah,
Well, Memo-san.
as a journo and as a citizen of a free country, I don't have to reveal my sources. That's a founding principle of many memoism.
Father's clearly
Right about this.
right about this. That reporter did write that article, and he based it on what he overheard from outside the hut.
Details have been updated.
So that's what it was all about. You were trying to cover up the fact that you were listening in.
It's just just updated here. Yep, the reported Menino-san based it on information he gleaned by eavesdropping.
That's why you came up with that stinking story about me arguing with her.
Shut up! My stories never stink. Look, whatever you say, little girl, it doesn't alter the facts. Your Excellency, there is something I want to say, and I wanted to go on record.
Very well, you may amend your formal testimony.
Ha!
What a screen shake.
The point is, if you poison someone, there'd be no reason to go. Okay.
What'd you amend? What did you even amend?
Nothing.
Are there...
Nope, that's the same thing. Got my goats. Oh no, it is the same. It is nothing new. This is so similar to the last statement. I didn't realize.
Because why would I have bothered to stab? Oh.
I already poisoned her. The point is, if you poison someone, there'd be no reason to go stab that person as
You
well.
should say it before presenting.
Well, we're not presenting anything. We're gonna press first, but I will save here for your sake. Although I have utter confidence that we will never
I do
save
not.
scum again
I don't.
for the rest of the game.
Someone do a super cut
Perhaps
of
you
Thomas
doubted the
saying that, and then all the
efficacy
times he saves scum.
And
of
we've only
the
done it
poison and
twice
sought to make sure your
over across
victim would
one
die.
game thus far, or once in one game.
Now twice.
Well, 2 games technically.
That's horse dung.
What?
That would be like pouring pepper on your Chinese ramen before you would even taste it. Completely reckless.
This guy is making the JoJo analogies. Metaphors, similes, I don't know.
Although it might surprise you to learn that I am a bit of an impetuous pepper pourer as it happens.
Once the victim had taken the poison, she would have been only minutes away from death. And yet, this man then proceeded to stab her in the back as well. There has to have been a good reason for that.
If it was the reporter who gave the poison to Miss Breath, then clearly he must have done it prior to Ray entering the hut.
Yes, that's undeniable.
But between him leaving the hut and the victim being stabbed, there was one very crucial change in the situation.
Ari, what changed?
The reporter overheard the conversation between Ray and the Englishwoman.
Ah, yes, that's it. That's when Minimoto-san first found out the exact nature of the poison he'd used. That could be the key here.
Oh, so he didn't know the poison didn't instantly kill, so that's why he went for the knife afterwards.
He didn't know it.
He didn't realize it was a delayed effect. He thought it was just like instantly kill her, so he thought it wasn't doing anything, so he just went and stabbed her. That's my bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the victim had unwittingly taken the poison already, the reporter would have had no reason to stab her. On the face of it, that logic sounds entirely reasonable. But there's no question that this man was
but there's
responsible
no question
for
that this man was responsible for Miss Brett's murder.
If we could think of a plausible explanation as to why he might have stabbed her even after the poisoning, I feel sure that everything would drop into place, and that's what we should be looking for.
I wonder if he had put it in her drink, you know, poured it in when she wasn't looking, and then he saw that she was drinking it and she wasn't dying.
Yeah, no, that's what happened.
Yeah. Yes, I agree, and in order to do that, I must try to glean more information.
I still don't understand why he would kill her.
Why he would kill her?
Because
Just for a good story.
Maybe he's all about justice, man.
No way.
He's a good guy.
No. Do it for the story.
no reason to stab her.
Makes a good story, honestly.
Give me any details? No. Okay. So it's probably this, considering we just updated it.
Alright, Objection! Oh crap. Okay, we go.
Well, I can think of one reason,
What?
but before I explain, I'd like you to confirm something for the court. Did you glean all the information for this newspaper article from what you overheard outside the hut? Of course you did! There can be no question of that! After all, when we were all in the laboratory together, all we were told is that it was a terrible toxin! And there is one more important fact to consider. According to the witness, Mbami-san's verbal attack against the victim began as soon as she entered the hut. In other words, it would have been impossible for her to have slipped the poison into Miss Brett's drink.
Where are you going with this, counsel?
That makes too much sense!
Memo-san has made it quite clear that he observed every single thing that happened in the beach hut. If the defendant had somehow found an opportunity, this man would have seen it.
Ah. Which means that Miss Brett couldn't have imbibed the poison whilst the defendant was present. In fact, it must have been administered to her before Membami-san entered the hut. Yes, very articulately put.
When I walked into the hut, I immediately started to press Miss Brett about the poison.
At which point, Memo-san overheard some worrying information.
Worrying information? What worrying information?
The information which he subsequently included in his newspaper article, namely, that the poison was being developed in strict secrecy, and that it couldn't be readily obtained.
Absolutely. In fact, that's quite an understatement. The only possible place it could come from is my lab.
And furthermore, anyone afflicted by the poison would exhibit telltale signs of death. In death.
The extreme constriction of the pupils, yes, it's quite stark when you see it. There are other poisons that show similar symptoms, but not among new substances that are undetectable.
In other words, it would be clear that the victim's life had been ended by the use of this particular poison, which would reduce the number of suspects to only a handful.
Oh. Everyone in my laboratory is aware of the unique properties of the toxin we've been developing. None of them will be foolish enough to attempt to use it for some nefarious deed. Membami-san is being no exception.
Therefore, we can conclude that whoever administered this unique poison to the victim was a lay person unaware of its telltale properties. In other words, someone like you, write in many memos.
Thomas is now voicing it.
It was you.
Oh, I wasn't even paying
who
attention.
stole the poison from the laboratory that day.
You just screamed it out, so I wasn't even worried about it. I was like, oh, someone's got it.
And it was you who administered it to the unwitting victim. But you quickly realized that was a terrible mistake.
Kind of a banger, though, the music.
Because the poison caused such unusual symptoms and was so traceable.
Oh, they're saying it was too traceable. Like,
Well, the whole point is like, yeah, anyone would know that it came from only this lab.
Yeah. As you listened in from the far side of the beach hut's thin walls, you learned of these facts.
So you try to kill her before, you know, the poison set in.
But you'd already given the victim the poison at that point. It was too late. You hatched a plan to disguise your mistake. A plan that involved stabbing the victim in the back through the reed screen. Honestly,
But what good could that possibly do?
If he hadn't had stabbed her, and he would have just like left, then like they would have been like,
Stop the
oh, the
pen.
only people.
Write in Mimbami and you prove that there was poison in the pen.
And it's still from the news article.
yeah,
That's
pretty
true.
easy.
Isn't it obvious, Counsel? Plan was to kill Miss Brett before the poison could take effect.
Once in blood, the poison causes the onset of pupil constriction, but he had hoped to precipitate the victim's death before that happened, hadn't he?
Exactly. Because without any revealing signs of the new secret poison's use, no one would have ever suspected.
This is extraordinary.
Yes,
Ugh.
the effects of the poison meant it would be too easily identified. The killer had to mask its use, which he attempted to do by plunging a knife into the middle of the victim's back.
Order! The argument presented is sound. The court is satisfied that it warrants consideration. Does the prosecution have a counter-argument it wishes to put forward?
Well, there are a number of, yes, I counter completely.
Prosecution's evasive response clearly shows that in much the same way as he nurtures the remnants of his topknot, he is clinging to lost hope.
Savage!
Oh,
Lost hope!
that's so funny.
That was just rude. Uncalled for.
He
I've
got
been so official and nice this whole time, and then she hits him with that. Oh
No,
my.
that's pretty funny.
gotta hit him where it hurts most, you know?
Yeah. Low blow.
What the?
Ah, you pathetic, useless fallen samurai!
Fallen? Who are you calling
I
fallen?
don't need a counter argument.
What the?
What are you talking about?
It should be blatantly obvious. I stole the poison, you say, gave it to the victim, you say, stabbed her, you say, lots of fine theories. But I don't need a counter-argument because you don't have an argument yourself. Where's your
That
evidence?
was what I was saying like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Where's your evidence?
Yeah, but we're the ones.
We
And
have
now
the
everyone's
pen.
like, "Ugh!"
It's because we're the ones proving guilty until innocent. Nature of the game.
Yes, you make it all sound so plausible, don't you? But without evidence, it means nothing. Whereas I base my news on facts.
There's literally no facts.
What
That's
do you
my
mean?
point.
Explain yourself. I mean, what the professor said earlier in this trial, it's all here in my many memos. Every word, every slip of the tongue, all noted. That's what the Show You News is famous for. It's the power of the printed word.
It's the fact that
What are they saying
you
here?
couldn't get it out, and this is where you just show the pen.
How's that then? Blow the story wide open? See, I write in many memo, a mere reporter for the Show You News. Couldn't possibly have stolen that poison from the professor's laboratory.
Ah!
Why? That's not even. Someone
can't
needs
be
to
any
mod this
question.
game to where instead of like freaking out, she just
Yeah, I know.
it
No.
blows out her nose.
Ah!
That's all I want.
He
Just
stole it
confidence,
and
you know.
used it to kill.
That's no idea what's going on, man. As a player, I have no idea where this is going.
I know. And if that's the case, as you've identified, the poison itself is the definitive evidence we need. Because whoever stole it from the laboratory that day is the true culprit here.
What's your point, you annoyingly handsome country bumpkin?
What the freak?
Hey, they never hold back on their compliments. They're always
My
like, oh,
point
this
is-
beautiful person, or this good-looking person.
They don't pull the punches on
My
their insults
point
either.
is,
It's you.
there is one way that you, Manimemo-san, could have stolen the poison that day.
Huh? I have heard enough verbal conjecture now, thank you. What the court must be shown is evidence.
Yep, the pen.
Pen.
Wait, but save
Take that.
Proof, Your Excellency,
is in the pudding.
is this fountain pen.
Ah! A fountain pen? How can that possibly be relevant?
These magical pens somehow seem to have enough ink to write many thousands of kanji characters. I believe they arrived in our country for the first time some 15 years ago now.
This is new technology.
Wow.
I swear by a weasel hair calligraphy brush and nothing else. These newfangled pens are merely a fad.
Well, as a forward-thinking man of words, I obviously I love my fountain pen. Suck up a soup.
What
soup
is
song?
that?
Soup
Soup
con.
song?
Well, that's not a C.
I don't know
It's-
what letter that
it's-
is.
it-
That's
it's
got
supposed
like
to
a
be
little.
pronounced with an
That's got
S.
like a Korean
Soup
tail
song.
on it. You know what I mean?
Anyway, keep
Song
going.
of sumptuous. It's suck up a soupçon of sumptuous ink, and one's work is awash with words in the blink of an eye. That's right. Fountain pens have a small reservoir in the barrel, into which ink is sucked up through the nib of the pen in order to write with later.
What does all this talking of sucking up ink have?
And just as it's possible to suck ink up into the reservoir, it's also possible to eject it through the nib again, of course.
My word. Can this really be?
Well, Manimemo-san, when you saw the deadly poison before your eyes in the laboratory that day, you used your fountain pen, your very lifeblood, to steal some of it, didn't you? By siphoning the poison up through the nib and into the pen's reservoir.
Gag!
I think the poison would make different color. It's mixed with.
More absurdity! That never happened!
Well, if it went in like the wine, probably wouldn't change it that much, right?
True, we've heard that there were
Taste kind of bad.
procedures in
I mean,
place to
wine
prevent
tastes bad
thefts
already.
like this from their laboratory. But would anyone have thought to look inside a fountain pen of all places?
No, I'm a little ashamed to say that for fear of offending our guests, such a detailed search would not have been conducted. Well, this is quite startling, I must say.
I remind the court that this pen was found in the clutches of the victim when she died. In other words, it was dropped at the scene by Manimemo-san. So the crucial question is when exactly was the pen dropped?
Are you suggesting?
The natural conclusion is that in your haste to act whilst the victim was distracted for a moment, You dropped the pen after you emptied the poison from it into the glass.
There could be any number of alternative explanations. For example, the witness could have been using his pen to write down details of his conversation with the victim. And when shocked by one of her outrageous answers, the pen fell from his quivering hand.
No, that can't be. If it was, how do you explain why the pen was devoid of ink?
Huh?
As you can see for yourself, if you examine the evidence, there would appear to be no ink present in the reservoir. What newspaper reporter goes to interview someone with nothing in his pen? No, the pen was dropped after the poison that filled its reservoir had been emptied into the victim's glass.
Are they breaking down?
Witness, what do you have to say in your defense? So this is how our modern justice system works, is it?
So
It
Thomas,
never ends.
do you still think it's not the
It's not him, for sure.
It's not him. It's
Not him. It can't be him. So what if the ink in my pen runs dry? So what if my pencil snaps?
Oh my gosh!
Wolverine, I can always claw my way back into the game. I have plenty in reserve. Ah!
Whoa. It'd be funny if they showed like pencils flying at all of them. She like ducks. The judge. Ooh.
Yeah, something like that in the original Ace Attorney when the guy throws a coffee mug, it lands on Wright's head. And then
Oh
like,
my
has a
gosh.
sprite of like the coffee pouring down his face. You claim I sucked the poison up into the pen. That's a wild speculation, nothing more. If you thought you could bring down a fine, upstanding citizen with a trick like that, think again.
Now we
It
gotta
looks
prove
as
it
though
with
it's going to take one final decisive blow to finish this matter. As I see it, the situation is now very simple. It rests upon whether or not this witness did indeed steal the poison on the day in question, and therefore it all depends on whether or not the defense can prove that he did it with evidence. Ha! No such evidence could possibly exist.
His hand over here.
Menimemo-san, this is how our modern justice system works.
What?
In the courtroom, evidence is everything. Something you would do well to remember. Because we are well past the point of speculation at this stage, I assure you.
Very well, then. I call upon the defense to present the aforementioned evidence.
This is it then. This will be the final piece.
We mess up right here, I have to replay the last 20 minutes.
It's the stuff
But it's confidence.
proved by
It's
means
called-
of this item that it was.
Wait,
the
actually, I'm
witness's
kinda-
pen that
maybe you
was
don't-
used to steal the poison.
Okay, yeah.
It's this one for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called confidence. Counsel, what is that bottle?
Lost. Dead right there.
This bottle contains the unique.
You should
chemical-
rethink your argument, defense. Oh no!
This bottle contains the unique chemical reagent that can identify the poison in question.
Yes, that poison is an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids developed by my colleagues and I. It would be impossible to detect traces of it by any other method.
Or from another perspective. Simply with this chemical reagent, anybody at all could check for traces of the poison.
Ah, a reagent? What?
One drop of the contents of this bottle on the tip of your fountain pen, Menimemo-san, is all it will take to solve this case beyond all reasonable doubt.
No, you can't. I won't.
Kills her right here. Stabs.
What?
Oh,
With pencils.
she's gonna kill him right here.
He goes full Joker on her.
Your crimes are bad enough, but at least know when to admit defeat.
I actually watched Joker on the plane on the way to LA
The new
this
one?
weekend. Yeah.
It's
Your
good, right?
Excellency.
It's really freaking
It
dark.
was kind of slow.
The
new
scene
Joker?
where he like
You've
shoots
seen
the
it?
dude in the
You've
on
seen
the
the new
mission. Yeah.
Joker?
He shoots the dude
Yeah, no, I know.
in the wall, and the little mini dude is like,
Yeah, I
and he
know.
walks out. That scene messed me up, bro.
The defense requests permission
Or when he's on
to
live TV
carry
and
out
he
the
just
test on
blows that
fountain
dude's head
pens.
up. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What the frick?
This isn't my fault.
Yo, this
The
David
Empire
and
drove me to
Goliath.
this, trying to hold me in this highest civilized nation, but bowing its head to every foreign nation. I take when I was before the mighty pen, I fought tirelessly in the battlefield, lose. All the name of justice and righteousness. Memo is many.
Whoa.
Oh
Whoa.
shoot.
Break his arm.
Susato,
with me.
I'm
Oh,
there.
she said Susato.
Oh.
Yep.
Hiya!
What the freak?
The Susato takedown.
Did I do it right? That was a Susato takedown, wasn't it?
Not quite. That that was the Ryotaro takedown.
Oh, new move unlocked! Ryutaro takedown!
Kind of only
Because
works with two
she's
people.
Susato.
Because he's Ryutaro right now, yeah.
The instant the first drop of the
See, look.
reagent touched the nib of the fountain pen,
Those Susato's
it
here.
was clear to everyone present. Is it gonna show?
When I saw it there in the lab, the poison, the devil got hold of me and I decided to do it on a whim. I excused myself and emptied all the ink down the sink in the bathroom, washing out the reservoir carefully.
And then you waited for an opportunity to suck up some of the poison, didn't you? Into your fountain pen.
Yes, that's right. Answer me one thing, Mini Memo-san. Why did you steal it? For what purpose? Isn't it obvious? To find out what it was made of and to expose it in an article. I mean, it was a secret project after all, too juicy for a journal like me to pass up.
Well, there you go. Good story.
And then why did the Englishwoman end up dead?
I went into that hut intending to quiz her on a situation, that's all, as a reporter. A known killer enjoying full freedom, evading justice by leaving the country. I told her what I thought about it. And she just laughed in my face.
Oh, he really did do it.
Who's the?
Oh,
you're the
what's
girlfriend?
this? A Far Eastern caveman purporting to practice journalism.
Caveman!
Really, you must learn the difference between reporting and listening at doorways, you ignorant plebeian.
Plebeian!
What did you
pleb-
call me? This country with its pretensions to a justice system, to a free press, it's really very depressing. You see our superior ways in the West, yet you lack the mental capacity to emulate them.
Holy
Get out of here, you oaf! Get out and crawl back into the cave you came
That's
from.
full-blown racist.
Yeah.
New title unlocked, Ignorant Plebeians.
That's when I remembered about the deadly poison I happened to have in my pen at the time.
SMH.
What a terrible fate. In my head, I knew I should just get out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't. I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done, when she clearly had no remorse at all. I
Breaks out neck.
suppose it was my journal spirit getting all fired up.
But he has no problem blaming an innocent of his own native home country.
I mean, hey, when it
I
comes
know,
down to
right?
it, he'd rather save his own skin than someone else's.
So,
I'd like to ask you something.
Yes.
You often talk about justice, but surely as a journalist you could have used other means to deliver justice you sought.
There's no justice in the press.
Sorry?
cabbage.
After that trial 9 months ago, I kept digging and digging to find out what had happened in that courtroom. And finally, I discovered the truth. It was a cover-up! That's what it was!
A cover-up? What do you mean?
I would remind you of your position, witness. Be careful of what you say. Oh, come on, doesn't it strike you as strange? We're suddenly now not allowed to convict a foreign national? Consular jurisdiction should never have come into it. And yet that puffed-up Englishwoman was going to sail away into that sunset a free woman. The only possible explanation is that behind the scenes, some deal had gone down between Britain and Japan.
What sort of deal?
I'd done my research, dug up all the dirt. It was all ready to be published. But you know what happened? The editor just tore the article up. He came under pressure from the government, you mean? If our government is going to let criminals walk free, if they're going to crush the free press, then what choice do I have but to see that justice is done myself?
Let's not forget, Manimemo-san. You committed murder yourself, and you tried to lay the blame at the defendant's door. I'm sorry, but you're no better than Giselle Brett. Oh.
What?
Truth is, you have no right to talk about justice at all.
I suppose. It would appear that we have reached a conclusion in this trial at last. Counsel for the defense, Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Oh, Yes. Sorry, Your Excellency. Just musing in a manly way here.
It's almost unbelievable that this is your first experience of the Supreme Court. It was an excellent performance. In truth, it very much reminded me of your cousin's exploits.
Oh, Naruhodo Ryunosuke, you mean?
The way he handled the trial 9 months ago and the way you handled this one, it gives me hope that we are genuinely entering a new era of justice in this land.
That's very flattering, Your Excellency.
Hearing the defense put you forward today made me feel most keenly that the future of our justice system will be forged by you and your contemporaries.
Thank you.
So, Prosecutor Ouchie, do you have any final thoughts?
What the?
What is that?
He's just gonna cut off his hair.
Oh.
It's usually meant for, like, committing seppuku, and you kill yourself and you disembowel yourself.
What?
Yeah, that's what that's for.
What is it supposed to catch your bowels?
You
What?
cut out your bowels.
No, I know, but is the box supposed to catch them?
Oh, probably, yeah.
What the freak? Professor Ouchie?
Prosecutor.
Prosecutor? I said professor.
He's probably just cut off his hair, though.
I, Daicosmos of the Ouchie clan, have been bested by a callow youth not once, now, but twice. If there was any shred of my former self left, it has withered and died here today.
What if he actually just deboweled himself?
This game is rated
Gosh.
M, isn't it?
Your journey to
don't know, actually.
cultural enlightenment sure took a while, didn't it?
Silence!
Wow, she's still roasting him at this moment.
Rather than living on in shame,
Oh my gosh.
I will end it all now with this blade. For that is the true path to Ouchieism!
Ouchieism?
One hopes that the only way in which he'll become a modeling himself, he'll be modeling himself after the witness.
Sprig of my top knot, the time is right for farewell. Hope is lost forever. Takatsuchi.
Stop himself. Oh.
Oh, that was
He
a
did it so
clean
calmly.
shave.
It just.
Oh my gosh, they
evaporates
fade off
in
into the
me.
wind.
You can watch it.
You'll watch it
replay.
again, yeah.
Moment of silence.
Everyone
Oh my god.
Man.
saying a prayer.
This is the most serious moment, the most
I forgot he was
this
even in this
dude.
case. Forgot he was even in the case.
the most serious death we've witnessed thus far.
Death of the top knot. All is hopeless.
Hope is lost.
Hope is lost.
Hope
It's good because
is
the dude's a
lost.
nihilist, right?
No, that was the journalist.
The journalist, I know.
No,
it's a
in
nihilist.
regards to the defendant, Raymond Bami-san,
Yes, Your Excellency.
I have reached my final verdict. I hereby find you not
Guilty.
guilty. Guilty.
Wait, what?
Well,
on here.
just like
I
that,
know,
we
yeah.
finished only the tutorial. Court is adjourned.
Epilogue.
It's over. My heart is still pounding in my chest, though. It's all I can do just to stay standing.
Who could this mysterious figure be?
Lawyers have such great responsibilities,
Never
such a
seen him
great
from the back.
burden to bear.
He's back all the
Don't
time
they?
when he
Not
turns
Naruto-san?
his points.
He's got a weird back hairdo.
It's because he's got like these 2 points. You know. That's you.
Thank you so much. You were so dashing in there.
Ray, and your father. And
No,
father.
and father.
Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've. Oh no, I think I'm gonna cry.
It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end, too.
The only reason I'm still here is because of you.
Oh no, I can't take all the credit. I took courage to tell the truth in there. You did wonderfully, Ray, but I would have to say that the congratulations belong to you.
Susato, don't be so standoffish.
Sorry?
We're friends, equals, and the trial's over. So no more of this formal super humility nonsense. It's time to celebrate with swagger, to throw caution to the wind.
Caution to the what?
I'm the great defense lawyer, Ryutaro Naruhodo, and I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something.
Right, I see. I'll think
Invite
about
me
it,
on a
Ray.
date. Take
She's
me on
just
a
trying to
date.
get the date. Darn, I really did miss the whole case. Yep, you came in just for the ending.
Right.
At
Oh.
any rate, we really knocked the wind out of that horrid man, and it felt so good.
Yes, it was satisfying.
It really was. Isn't there anybody else we could throw together?
We could throw together.
I hope you're not looking at me.
What is
Ray.
this? The spike ball GM? We spike ball?
Oh my goodness. No, of course not. Of course not.
Ah, there it is at last, Ray's lovely smile.
You fought for your friend to the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you. Defense attorney, Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help. Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryutaro, I think. I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Susato Mikoto by now.
So, I'll never see him again then. What a terrible shame.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, was it?
Well, what is happening?
Ah, Sosaki-san and Inspector Hosonaga, I do hope you've been keeping well?
is that really you?
Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons I hope, but it's me. Susato Mikoto. I don't.
So that's
So
going.
dashing, so divine.
Oh my gosh, everyone's simping
No!
for freaking Susato.
Doubly dashing, yes,
Simping
and
for Susato, that's
and-
this episode.
this guy's literally dying. Anyways,
It's fine.
and doubly divine. Just look at you. I had no idea, Mr. Sato-san, Esquires, that you were locum student Naruhodo-san, Esquire's cousin.
Oh my gosh.
Astonishing, astounding ace attorney.
Whoa, he just needs to touch his back, you see that?
Ah.
Whoa.
That's not that hard. You
Okay,
literally just
sorry.
touched your back.
Yeah, but I'm special.
Okay, man. It's not that hard of a feat. And look, it's the namesake, Ace Attorney.
Yeah,
You ace attorney.
poor Sosaki-san, so confused. I still remember the first time I ever met him. He was in a prison cell in London. What an extraordinary conundrum it was the unwitting student from Japan found himself embroiled in. But after Naruhodo-san's skillful defense of the Old Bailey, Saki-san was free to return to Japan.
I am not looking forward to summation examination.
A submission examination!
5 by the end of the
And
last
now he seems to have earned himself great fame as an author.
I'm excited to play the judge again.
case.
And die.
And die.
He's dying at
I'm
the
stunned. That's a truly impressive disguise. Even I had no idea, and I'm a chief inspector at the police bureau. Who came up with Mr. Turtle, no less? I'm not so sure you should be admitting to that, Inspector. Amazing. You're a woman of many faces, I see.
Just two, really, and this was a once-in-a-lifetime event, I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you, though, Inspector.
Well, I am a professional, of course.
I do worry about Inspector Hosonaga sometimes. I really do. 9 months ago, when he appeared here at the
Go
Supreme
through
Court
everyone's
to
backstories,
testify,
huh?
I mean, yeah, because it
He was
literally technically
undercover.
been years since they've seen these characters.
yeah,
Now
In the
everyone
original
replayed
game.
the game before this. Come
he
on.
was undercover disguised as the head waiter.
No,
at
even if the people
restaurant.
that played the game, it's been years.
Oh.
It's like if for the game is actually
I
coming
get what
out,
you mean, I get
it,
what you
yeah. It took a couple of years to come out for the sequel. Oh, I forgot he just got beaten
And then
up.
on a steamship of Great Britain, of course, disguised as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey. Though that didn't help you, did it, Azuma-sama? False.
From my perspective, I have to admit that I have mixed feelings about all this. I mean, now the truth has been lost forever.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the murder that the Englishwoman committed at the end of last year.
Oh yes, it was an English doctor she killed, as I understand it.
Dr. John H. Wilson, yes, the man I invited to Japan personally. The mystery is, why did she kill him? And now that the culprit herself is dead,
we'll probably never know the answer.
On the voyage to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter.
We saw a cat.
With Mr. Herlock Sholmes, the great detective, I mean.
Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course.
Or would show up between those.
Ah, my arch nemesis. How lightly you utter his name. Well,
lip
according
quivers.
to the stories published about him in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes, a best friend.
And that man was an exceptional doctor.
And that man
Oh.
was an exceptional doctor of
Popped up
medicine.
on the screen. I thought it was her.
I know, right? By the name of John H. Wilson.
What? The Dr. Wilson?
I just can't believe that it's a coincidence. I think that the English doctor of
Oh, get
medicine
baited. Get your
killed
baited.
Hey, at least I
here-
didn't say anything.
here in Japan 9 months ago.
I'm just taking some deep breaths for breathing
Huh?
exercises. You know, take deep breaths, everyone. Breathe in, breathe out.
Must have been the friend and partner of Mr. Sholmes. And if that's really true, then the poor girl won't ever see her beloved father again.
As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around the time you were born.
Yes, grandmother told me about it.
On returning to Japan, I took on my professorship at the Imperial Yume University. But I also serve another role as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs.
Yes, I was aware of that as well.
In that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you.
Could you just tell me one thing? Why did you summon me back to Japan? It's been 2 months now since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram had arrived from Japan. It said that you'd collapsed with
Oh, he never
with
called
a
her
high
back.
fever, and you were growing weaker by the day.
What? Where did that news come from?
Fake news.
That's what I'd like to know. Because after that long sea voyage, I found you in fine health, Father.
This is why you always check your sources, people. See where the telegram came from.
Was
Check
there
the internet.
something?
I
in
even
Great
sent
Britain that you
$8,000
perceived
to
might
this address to
inconvenience me
pay
in
for
some
the
way?
treatments.
Or harm me? That's really the only explanation I can think of.
Dear me, do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Susato? I'm sorry, my dear, I simply can't. Ugh, well, let me go.
Oh,
Let me
shoot.
go. Ha, ha, ha.
Many Memo-san.
So, one throw wasn't enough for you.
I've got one last thing to say before they take me away, Professor. Me. I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on. In that visiting student's fate. Visiting student? Giselle Brett, you mean? No, not her, the student of law who left for Great Britain 8 months ago.
What? Student of law? He must mean Kazuma-sama.
All the dad didn't approve of them dating, so he killed them.
Oh shoot. What are you talking about? What does
He
any
tripped
of
over
this
a
have
cat.
to do with Kazuma-sama?
How did he set that up? He tripped over a cat. It was an accident.
Trained cat. Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know the guy never made it to England, that he died on the steamship, and that he'll never. Ah! Oh gosh.
Oh, what
Whoa!
the freak? The judge.
What the heck? That's such a twist.
Whoa, I didn't expect to find you here.
We'll find him
Find
in here.
him in here.
Oh, him. I don't think find him
Oh,
here. What were you officers playing at?
Terribly sorry, Your Excellency.
What the freak?
I was coming to tell you that the rickshaw has arrived, Eugene. And that it's a good job I came by.
It's a good job I came by.
Yes, thank you for dealing with him. I'll be there shortly.
Oh, Your Excellency.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. The trial's over. I'm not your excellency anymore. Merely your father's friend, Seishiro Jigoku.
Teishiro Jigoku!
Very similar to Jigohan.
Jigohan!
And may I say that since I saw you last, you seem to have taken on a more dashing appearance, Susato.
know all along from the start of the trial?
A judge sees everything, Susato.
Yeah, except for the hole in the back of the wall.
I
A
know.
judge sees everything. I couldn't let you take the risk. If Seishiro here hadn't known and then he recognized you, so I had a word in his ear beforehand, as an old friend. So, Seishiro, shall we? Yes, having ruled on that case, we now have various diplomatic issues to address.
Before you go, Father,
Sorry, my dear, we shall have to return to our earlier conversation at a later date. But well done again, both of you. You did admirably.
Oh, thank you very much.
What did you think of my Seishiro sling, eh?
Oh.
It's been a while since I sent a man flying like that.
Whoa, Judge! Whoa! Don't want to know about your personal life, bro.
whatever could Father be hiding from me? About Giselle Brett, about Dr. Wilson.
About Cosmo-sama.
And now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama. I'm going to have to bring this up with Father sometime. But nobody else is around. Why is he still here?
That's what he's wondering.
He's looking
too.
around. Where's the exit?
Esquires, could I have a word? Oh, yes, of course, Yoseki-san. What is it? I think perhaps it could be fate that we're meeting again like
Oh, he's
this
trying
now.
to get a date.
You see, I find you extremely attractive. There's something I need to tell you.
I love you.
Oh? I believe that it may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England. This I have to hear. Please, Yoseki-san, tell me at once. I will! As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. Such awful things I was embroiled in. Thank goodness, locum student Naruhodo-san and Squire stepped in. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on a ship back here to my homeland. Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experiences to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Mikotoba. He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report. My father? He seemed to be especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, so he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent the telegram to you, asking you to return to Japan. What was it then? The particular part of my father was interested in?
I don't really
But
know
do you
exactly.
remember them? Oh. But do you remember them? Those two terrible cases I was caught up in?
Two of them?
I don't remember the second
Of
one.
course I can never forget. Your father seemed to concern himself mainly with the second case.
What was the second case?
I don't remember. He
So
was
here's
accused
the one.
of
There's the murder
murdering
with the
the girl,
books.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we went to.
Just keep going. He'll say it. It'll be a flashback.
Yeah. The second
Look at
one.
that.
Nah, there's no way they talk about
The
it.
one Mr. Sholmes forbade any of us to talk about in public? Which is why the only case involving you that any
It didn't even
member
happen
of the public is aware of is the
in the first game. It's just a.
Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Anyways, the point is, it seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious unanswered questions. That horrific, heinous case, the case of the haunted lodgings.
That's the case we're gonna play.
Oh, where he was like,
case.
the demons, they're surrounding me.
No, but
Remember?
that was in the first case.
Yeah.
That case somehow caused my father to summon me urgently back to Japan. I thought that whole business was over, but it seems I was wrong.
Not sure.
Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told.
Wow. Maybe that's the subtle way of hinting. The story is not yet told. I see.
To
tell me
be
flashback.
Oh.
continued.
So, the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness. And having stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better. How you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Soseki-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved
It's
mystery.
like a mixed Asian accent.
My notes on the case should
That's
still be in the
Asian.
office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might like to look over them again. Today, for the first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue. It makes me long to see you again. Yours, Susato.
It's already Cosmo. You already know that's Cosmos. Brave,
Yeah.
I think.
Kazuma Garebu. End of game!
Alright.
Better wait for the third game. Oh, good. Achievement unlocked. Susato success.
Fingers crossed.
Do we get a preview of the next case or call it here?
I'm calling it here.
Alright.
It's hot
Yeah.
in here. I'm going to bed.
I'm dying.
You don't even want to see the initial cutscene?
No.
Alright then, we'll go ahead and
Do you want to leave him on a cliffhanger or what?
Exactly, you bring him
No.
back to the next time.
Maybe if we had a set schedule, but nah.
Nah, you're right.
You'll leave a cliffhanger when you don't even know when the stream comes
We already
back.
kind of.
At the very
Well, it's
least,
not a
we
cliffhanger, but-
might not stream next week. I don't know.
That's already a cliffhanger.
Ah,
Yeah, I
whatever.
was gonna say because we don't know what happened.
But
like,
more cliffhangers.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, anyway, thank you all for watching. Hopefully, we'll catch you in the next stream. I have no idea when it'll be as usual, but, hopefully, people like Hannah will be able to make it. But yeah.